I can hear it, but it's not like horrible.
Okay.
Oh, live, everybody.
Well, everybody, just so you know, I'm making coffee, so you will hear my coffee pot in the background, and I'm okay with it because I love my coffee pot. So here we go, and here we are. Hi, Larry.
Hi, what's up? How you
How
doing?
are you,
Yeah.
dude? I don't know. I don't know how I'm doing.
I'm doing the best I can with what I got. That's all I
So,
got for you.
so I was telling Larry, and you guys want to throw some good vibes out there. I'm all about it. For some reason, it's not letting me scroll down to the bottom comment, and I don't know why. Anyways, so I'm gonna be delayed all evening.
Well, the bottom
So
comment.
everybody cross some fingers and toes. Oh, Sandy, it's part of the atheist protocol for YouTube. I have to be a couple minutes late. You didn't know that? Everybody's a couple minutes late in the atheist YouTube, community. It's literally why I do it most of the time, just to be. You can call me Mr. B or Beck, or just don't call me late for dinner, or I'm an asshole because I'm not. I'm working on it though. I'm really working on it. I'm working on it with my therapist. I told him I want to become an asshole, so I'm hoping that happens soon. So people quit running all over me and abusing my gratuity. Yeah. Anyways, so here's the thing, guys. I want vibes and fingers and toes crossed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I applied today for a job that will almost double my pay than what I used to make at where I got fired, and I only have to work 3 days a week.
Mm.
I mean,
That's
you
pretty
can't beat
good.
that, right? Yeah, I know.
I mean,
right? It's driving truck, but it's just going to Colorado and back. So 406 miles, 3 days a week.
Yeah.
That's all I have to do.
That makes me feel like I should.
We lost you. You muted yourself. You literally muted yourself. We didn't hear any of
Oh, sorry. No, that's why I should learn how to drive so that I can do that and like never have to talk to another human being ever again. Because that's the
Well,
part
you have
that
to
I'm
talk
bad
to
at.
people when you get there, but it's pretty much just,
Yeah.
hey man, got this load
No,
for
like
you.
I'm gonna put
Thanks,
I'm gonna
bro.
put on one of those jackets
Hold
that
on a
says
second.
F, and I'm just gonna hand it to him. Hand him the
Pull
thing.
Dock 3, back into Dock 3. I'll have you unloaded in an hour.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, bro. But this is even easier, and I don't know I don't know if I'll have to. Sometimes you have to bring the paperwork into the receiving office and drop it off when you do and drop and hook. Sometimes they just have you stick it in the insurance info box on the front of the trailer. You just drop it and fucking leave.
It would be great to get like a dedicated route for like I know that when I worked at Target, like the dudes that drive for Target, they literally that's what they do every day. Every day they just go to the Target warehouse, they just go to the Target location, and that's it. That's all they do.
Yeah.
And it's not even long haul.
Yeah. No.
And they make like 50 times more than me.
Yes. Trucking pays good. And right now it pays really good because everybody's so desperate for truck drivers.
Yeah.
This guy, this post I found, I was like, no, I'm never going to go back to driving truck. I'm never going to go back to driving truck.
Yeah.
But if it's only 3 days a week, I mean, fuck, bro. And I just have to go into Colorado and come back. Like, shit. The whole trip is like 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You can work 12 hours in a day. If you work more than 8, then you have to do a 2-hour break in the middle. Yeah. So as long as I keep it under the 8, which is going to be easy because the speed limit here is fucking high. It's like 75. And when you're a truck driver and you base how long it's going to be, you always divide by 50.
Yeah.
You always go with 50 miles an hour. That way, if you get into traffic, you get slowed down, you get caught in construction, there's an accident, then your time won't be that off. So the latest you'll be is you count it for 50 miles an hour for the trip. Yeah. And that's the slowest you should be.
Yeah. So, I'm very obnoxious about being early for things. I literally am early to work by about 45 minutes every day because I refuse to take so I take a bus. And so like the next bus after the one that I take would put me there like 2 minutes after my clock in time. And I refuse to do that. So I take the one that's like almost an hour earlier.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'll be damned if I hate being late. I fucking hate being late.
I need my minutes. I need to eat. I need every minute that I can get out of this job.
Yeah. I used to, when I was a truck driver, if I saw an accident or something, I'd turn on the CB and get the good old boys on there because I always knew somebody knows a fucking back road somewhere. Like, hey, man, how the hell do we get out of this, man? My shit's going to be late. And they're like, Where are you? Where are you? I'm right here. I'm right before exit such and such. All right, follow me off that exit. I'm gonna take a left. I'm in the belly dump. Just follow me. I'll get you around it. And I'm like, all right, thanks, bro. That's why CBs are so great, you know.
Yeah, Sandy was saying we need truck drivers who will actually truck and not like park their rig somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, we need truckers who will actually truck and not protest. Right? It's true. You even crossed your toes. Thank you, Sandy. That's very sweet of you.
Yeah. I'm gonna get some overtime this week.
Good. I'm not getting any work this week. I'm poor.
It's very good. So like we're hitting like our peak season. This is wedding season. So we're running like 12 events a week. So we're doing like 2-a-days, like setting up at the cathedral and then cleaning up and then going over to like the museum and then going back to our main location. Our actual like building that we work out of is also an event venue. So like we're doing like a corporate luncheon in one room and we've got a wedding in a different room. And it's like the worst. It's very like it's good to be busy, but it's like this will be the only time that I'll be able to get overtime because we're like strictly not allowed to have it. But we also have to this week on this coming weekend, we have to flip a wedding into another wedding into like a corporate luncheon for 300 people from Saturday to Sunday. And our team doesn't work on the weekend. So they had to have a couple people come in and flip the weekend. And I was like, me.
Yeah. Give me the OT, baby. What the hell is a Ram Ranch?
Please don't. Please don't. Please not.
No?
No. Don't ask. Because then I'll have to hear the song, and then I don't...
I asked for an explanation. They can't put the song in there.
so somebody like hijacked the CB on like this group of truckers, the one that was protesting in Canada. They had like a CB system where they were all contacting each other and like planning their next move or whatever. And somebody kept finding out what frequency they were using and playing this song called Ram Ranch. And it's like a gay stripper song. So,
oh my God, you guys are fucking kidding me.
Because, that's what we do. What was the one they did? They did the same thing on like January 6th. And they did the same thing. It was like fuck the police or something. It was great.
That's hilarious.
I wish I was smart and knew how to do stuff
gay
like that.
Gay stripper song. That's fucking perfect for a bunch of good old boys, isn't it? God, that must have pissed them off.
Dudes that probably don't wash their own ass because it's gay.
Let me tell you something, man. There's some nasty fucking truck drivers out there. Like, I'm talking. So, here's the story. I'll tell this real quick, and then I got to make my coffee so it doesn't get cold. So, I pull in this truck stop. It's like a pilot or gloves or whatever. Flying J, whatever it is. Go inside. Got my shower gear. I go take a shower, right? I was too soon for the shower, so I watched the guy clean it. I literally stood there and watched him clean it, make sure he cleaned it right. Anyways, so I go in the shower, take a shower, I come out. Right as I'm coming out, the hallway to the showers is right. The bathroom's right next to it.
Yeah.
So I come out of the hallway for the shower, and this guy comes out of the bathroom. Big dude, looked like he was Italian. Okay, big dude, probably weighs 330, 350. Has to. He's like 6'4". His hands are huge, and like he's got like those big like man fingers, where they're so muscular that they're like the size of sausages. Big dude. So I walk around the outside, I grab a couple snacks, I go up to the counter, he's in front of me in line. And I see him. Now, mind you, he just came out of the bathroom, right? Okay, everybody remember that.
Right.
So he's talking to the girl, and he's leaning on the counter, and he's like huffing, and he's just dripping in sweat. He had been working on his truck or something, right?
Yeah.
And which I get, like that shit happens, right?
Yeah.
So he wipes his forehead and then slaps his hand down on the counter and then slides his hand away, and there's a black handprint from his hand.
Okay, so so
what's that tell you? Number one, motherfucker did not wash his goddamn hands. Number two, he's probably got grease all over his fucking dick, and he doesn't even care. Like, number three, I'm pretty sure he's a Trump supporter. So then he walks out the door, and I'm like watching where he's touching the door because I don't want to touch the door there.
Yeah.
And normally now, for people who are phobics like me with germs and door handles, either if it's one of those door handles that you can see where it's worn all at the top where everybody grabs it and it's like C-shaped, I grab it by the bottom with one pinky, open it with my pinky, and then wipe my pinky off of my clothes. That's literally what I do. If I'm going out of a bathroom and it doesn't have the locked like handle you have to turn, I put my hand all the way up as high as I can reach, and I open it with one finger like this.
So
because no one touches up there. Everybody's too lazy to touch up there. So when I showed that to my sister, and she goes, "That's brilliant."
When I worked at FedEx out at the warehouse is like a different kind of world compared to other places of employment. It's not customer facing. There's like no cameras or anything allowed on the tarmac because, 9/11. And so like there were like lots of, especially guys, almost exclusively guys who decided that like showering and wearing clean clothes was optional. Because no one's going to see you. And this is that kind of environment where you're always dirty all the time. Like 15 minutes after you walk in the door, nobody could tell that you didn't shower that day because you were going to get disgusting anyway. Yeah, but like me, it was less about like, it's not about who's going to see me being dirty at work. It's about like coming home and like getting black grease all over my sheets and all over my bathroom and all over like everything that I'm like, you got to shower. You have to shower. Like, it's not optional.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And we would have the same kind of thing where, like, we would get covered in black grease all the time because we work the line, and the line is covered in grease to keep it from getting caught. And so, like, touching packages and stuff, hundreds and hundreds of packages with, like, the ink off of the labels and stuff like that comes off super easy. So, like, you're, like, black from head to toe when you get off your shift for, like, 14 hours or whatever. But you go scrub that shit off.
Look, bro, I have done insulation. I've done rough landscaping. Mm-hmm. I've done roofing, carpentry, plumbing, installation. I mean, just name it. I've done it. And the first thing I've always done when I've come home for a construction job is wash my ass.
Yeah.
Because who the hell, I mean, I don't understand why they're okay walking around stinky and sweaty and nasty, man. And then they're like, I can't get a woman. And I'm like, no shit.
So at this job that I work, right now at our home location, and even at some of our like contracted locations, we have like grooming stations in the bathrooms. So they've got like deodorant and like combs and shoe brushes and stuff.
At FedEx?
No. At the catering company where I work now.
Oh, okay. So, that makes sense though.
Because you might have to go out and you might have to go from the kitchen to serving if we like run out of people and they need a body out there. So, like, you need to be able to quickly make yourself presentable enough. So, like, they've got, like, spray deodorant. Not stuff that you'd, like, roll on, but stuff that you'd spray on.
That would be gross.
So it's okay to share. And, like, hair gel and, like, that kind of stuff. Ooh. And so, like, because you gotta be clean. Especially when you work around food, you got to be clean.
No, absolutely. That's a number one. You should be the cleanest you can possibly be in your life.
Yeah.
But
I do laundry like 4 times a week because I only have 2 uniform shirts and I cannot wear a dirty uniform shirt in the kitchen. And that's a me thing. That's like, I won't do that.
Right.
But I'm going to order some more, though.
This thing is still acting weird. I don't know why it won't let me control anything here. Get down here to where the new comments are. You're being a lurker? Okay, fine, lurk. Ollie, what's up, buddy?
You can lurk, Marie. I see you.
Yeah, so no, and I used to work around guys like that, and they were always nasty and shit, and then they would always be the guy that'd be like, fucking women are bitches, I can't find one that ain't crazy. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe they don't want to suck your green-covered dick, bro. Like,
my poor husband.
This is not 1922. You can't do that anymore. Women ain't gonna go down on that shit.
My husband has no sense of smell.
Lucky
because he was born with a severe form of bilateral cleft lip and palate, and he literally had no olfactory cavity, like at all.
Oh, because shit!
His whole face, like the whole front of his face, was basically cleaved in half, all the way back to his throat, like all through his sinus cavity and everything. Like, had a huge chasm. Had no hard palate, had no soft palate, had nothing. They had to construct all of it artificially. They took like cartilage out of his hip and a piece of bone to like construct his upper jaw here because he was missing most of his upper jaw. Like he's had like probably
I've only seen a few cases that severe.
He's probably had like 50 or 55 separate surgeries to reconstruct his face. So he has no sense of smell. And sometimes I have to pull him aside and be like, honey, you need a bath.
Right.
And it's not his fault because like he can't smell it. He doesn't know. Like if he looks clean to himself, he's not thinking about it.
That's what he's going off of, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting though. You know, and the reason I said lucky him, it wasn't because of you. It's because you laughed and I was like, no, I didn't mean that. No, but I have a super, super sensitive nose.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm in a bathroom and someone shits, or I walk into a bathroom where somebody just shit, and anytime I go in a public restroom, it's because I really got to fucking piss or shit. And if it's in the morning, it's usually I got to shit. So I go in there, and if someone takes a shit in there before me or while I'm in there, I'm in there like this. Like I could almost taste it. Like I could fucking taste it. Yeah, and I'm like, people don't like. I was the big sprayer at work, man. Like Dr. Higginbotham would come out of the bathroom, and she was always horrible about forgetting to spray. She'd turn the fan on, but she wouldn't spray. I go walk up behind her. I'm like, oh shit, Dr. H was in there, and I'd hold my breath. I put my mask on, cover my mask and my face with my shirt, because people don't understand. The reason you smell that is because there's little moisture molecules in the air of their shit, and you're breathing it in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so gross.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's gross.
No, I
only want to breathe in my own shit smell, never mind somebody else's.
I bought like one of the first things that I bought for this place because we have the dog and you know we have other like we have normal house odor issues. I got like an 8-pack at Costco of like these, and it's like sitting on my table, so you know I'm not making this up. And like you know, I go around and like I wash all the dog's bedding and stuff, but like things that are hard to wash like the couch, I have to give it a spritz because like that dog smell.
Yeah.
It gets to you. It like crawls up inside your brain.
I guess we're just bullshitting tonight. So Brainbug, come in if you want. Ollie, come in if you want. There's a link.
Yeah.
Ben will be here in a little bit. Turd torpedoes. I like it on your nose. You know I'm right. That's why we can smell it. Those little moisture droplets hit our inside of our nose, and we smell that. So you have shit.
Yeah,
someone shit in your nose.
Our temporary, my main boss is got like shuffled around to another location. So our temporary boss came in today, and I've worked with him before. He's a very, very nice guy. He is an extreme germaphobe. And so every time he comes back to our location, we get like a presentation about how to clean the bathrooms properly. And he goes and he finds like the most toxic chemical in the entire place. And he's like, you have to go over every surface with this. And I'm like, I can't CLR the floor because it's made of linoleum.
No, you can
I understand why you want that, but I can't do that.
I thought you could CLR linoleum. You can't?
These are like, it's plastic. So like if you, it's plastic like the snap boards that you put together. It's like not real floor.
Oh.
And so, like, over time, it'll eat it.
Yeah.
And it'll like
so get down inside of it.
Yeah, it's a printed finish on top of this plastic. So it'll like eat it and it'll take the finish off and then they'll be mad at us for ruining it. So.
This is what you should do. Here's a suggestion. Suggest this to your boss. It's all natural. It's antibacterial.
Yeah.
And it'll clean everything just as good. Get Simple Green antibacterial.
Yeah.
I think it's like purple or something like that. I don't know. But I bought it in a jug for work. It's only like, I don't know, it's like $30 or something like that for the jug. But it's all natural and it won't eat at any floor or anything. You can use it on any surface, including upholstery.
Okay. I think that's like
it is the shit.
You can get that in the grocery store, can't you? I think
probably, or any hardware store should carry it. You know, like Home Depot or whatever should have it. Yeah, Simple Green.
We have like a systemic problem of not having enough stuff to clean with. Like, and I like we're having like a management changeover right now, where the company has been bought by some of the people that work in it. So like our head chefs and one of our salespeople and a couple other people like went in and bought the company from the previous owner, and so like. Our big problem right now is like the management infrastructure is changing. And so every time I go to tell somebody they need to order something, they're like, oh, it's not my job. They're doing a musical chairs of whose job it's not to like order toilet bowl cleaner and stuff.
Right.
And so when he was doing his little presentation about how we needed to clean the bathroom, we had like no toilet bowl cleaner, no Windex. We had to, and it's like, got nothing. But it would be good to have just like an all-purpose thing around.
That was one of my many jobs at work was to order stuff. I ordered everything. From toilet paper to syringes to needles to
I've done that stuff. Like, I know how to file invoices and stuff like that. So like if they would just tell me it's my job, I would do it. Because I'm sick of I like things to proceed in an orderly and efficient fashion, and it's not efficient for me to bring the issue to 5 different people and have not one of them do it.
Right. Hey Shane, how you doing, buddy?
Hello.
I was just asking for good vibes. So we have more people in. Good vibes. We need good vibes and fingers and toes crossed.
I need that meme of all the vibrators with smiley faces on them.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All those good vibrations. I applied for a job today that I have to work 2 less days a week and I'll make almost double the money.
That is good.
So everybody, fingers, toes crossed, good vibes. I don't give a fuck. Pray if you want. If it works, I don't give a shit. Whatever makes everybody happy. If somebody's praying in that chat, though, I think they're in the wrong place. Anyways, I really want it. I really want it. I really want it. And I only have to work like 3 10-hour shifts. 30 hours and make almost double the money. And that's what happens when you say fuck it and go find a CDL job.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a truck anymore, but if it's only 3 days a week and I'm home every night, that's nothing. That is nothing. I can't imagine having 4 days a week off. I don't even know what I'm going to fucking do with myself. Maybe I'll get a project done. Oh, that would be crazy.
That's one of the things that I really missed from FedEx, because when we worked at FedEx, we worked Monday to Thursday, and then we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday off every week.
Yeah.
I miss that. But, I'll live.
Who wants to come in? Anybody want to come in? Anybody want to come in? Because we've gotten to the point of just bullshitting. So we're not really talking about anything important. And my mastermind behind organizing and bringing up topics is late because he needed food. Like they don't feed you in med school or something. God.
I got fed the best meal ever today at work.
What are you doing on my counter?
I don't know why things got to be this way. But now the head chef, I love food. And I'm a fat guy. Like I got to be a fat guy because I like food, no excuses. But it's really funny that the head chef at the job where I work now, every time every morning he comes in and is like, what are we gonna make for lunch today, Larry? And like he comes up and asks me what to serve the staff for lunch. And like I'm like, shit, I don't know. But it's like every day after lunch he asks me how the lunch was. And it's always awesome because he's a fucking gourmet chef. But today he made us, we had some stuff that was just like leftovers from the wedding. So we had like potato frittatas and like shrimp and stuff like that. But then he made us these Caribbean ribs. He had like ribs, like slow cooked, like properly cooked ribs with Caribbean jerk seasoning on them.
Shit.
Fucking delicious.
See, I couldn't work there. I'd fucking be like, dude, I need fifths.
Yeah.
I need more meat.
Yeah.
I would just eat meat constantly.
Oh, yeah.
I miss big pieces of meat.
It was great, though.
I need to take myself out for steak. I keep saying I'm going to do that, and I don't want to spend the money right now.
That's one of the things about this job is it's probably knocking like $100 a week off my grocery bill because I get fed so good at least once a day. And like sometimes they feed us twice. Sometimes they feed us breakfast, too.
Nice. No bitching about that. Jer said shrimp ribs.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this comment. Dear Jesus Crust, please help Beck get this job. He needs the cheddar, and I think that's your department. Larry's talking about serious food, and I'm laughing. I couldn't even help it. That was good shit. You never know what Aunt Jer's gonna pop up with something.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
I said that like I had something to segue to, but I've got nothing.
I know. You did, and I really thought you did. I was excited for you.
No, I'm going to end up telling the story about my weird coworker who can't keep her hands to herself.
Yeah, okay, so here's a piece of advice to anybody. It's just like, okay, it's like my black friends say. They're like, you don't walk up and touch a black person's hair and go, oh, it looks nice. Yeah. You don't walk up to a trans person and grab them and try to figure out what sex they are. You don't walk up to gay people and grab them and ask them if they're gay.
Yeah.
You don't walk up to somebody who has scars and pet them like some weirdo when you don't know them.
Yeah.
You don't touch people. Don't touch people.
Yeah. So
that's what fist bumps and shit are for, and elbows and high fives and how you doing and shake someone's hand. You don't just paw on somebody you don't know.
Yeah. So we have a new lady at work, and she's like, otherwise she was very, very nice. She was very, very attentive when I was like doing training stuff with her. But like we were talking and I was explaining to her, I was like showing her a requisition sheet and like explaining how to read it and like what different equipment was. And then I have very, very visible scars all over my forearms because of reasons. That we don't
past
have to
reasons
right
that we
now.
don't need to go into.
But so like, and while I was talking to her, she like reached over and like started like on my arm, and I was like, "Oh, you can't do that." And like, I'm never confrontational like that. Like, I will let people torture me half to death before I say anything, because I'm full of anxiety. But I was like, no, that has to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, and I'm like, okay, you can be curious, like over there in your head. But you don't just get to just like reach out and touch me without asking, especially in like that kind of sensitive way.
Right.
Because that was like that made me feel vulnerable in a way that I was not prepared to feel vulnerable, because that is like that part of my history is not any of your business unless I say so.
Right. Exactly. It has nothing to do with you. It's none ya.
And like that stuff is from like a long time ago, and I don't feel bad about it anymore. And like it's a thing that can be talked about. But you just met me today. Maybe let's like talk about, how we feel about sports before you start laying on hands, okay?
Well, considering there's people that beat the shit out of trans people and reach down their pants, and when they don't find what they like, they kill them. Yeah. Yes, there's people that grab trans people.
Yeah. I got assaulted in a bathroom last year at an AMC movie theater.
That's
for that exact reason. But like, yeah, and I'd
kill a motherfucker. I'd yank their dick off. Be like, it's mine now, bitch.
No, I went home and I cried about it because I'm a loser.
Well, I probably would have too. I don't know if I would have done anything in the moment. It depends. We all say things until it happens to us.
Yeah. Exactly, and Jerry, your body is not public property. Like this is like I don't own anything except this. This is mine.
Yeah.
You can't have it. You can't. I will share with permission, but you can't share without permission. If you share without permission, that's theft.
If you want to share my body, you make sure both of you are hot and ask me, and I'll say yes. Anyways,
but yeah, but so that it was just weird. Like I wasn't even angry or anything. It was just so weird.
Yeah, that is strange. Like real talk.
Like I've never had that. Like I've had that. Like, and I'm a person. I'm a human, and sometimes I'm a dumbass. And I've had that thing where I was like, oh, I wonder, like with the black people hair thing. I've had that thought in my head. Like, I wonder what the texture of that is. But you don't just start reaching out and petting somebody like a sheep.
No. You can compliment them on it. I do that all the time. We used to have sales reps come in, and they just have some of them Hispanic and some of them African American or whatever, POCs, and they have like this beautiful, like some of the women here, the Hispanic community and the Hispanic Mexican, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what to identify them as. I feel like everybody gets offended no matter what I say. They have like the girls here have these big, long, beautiful, like, oh my God, their hair's gorgeous. Just fucking. So I always compliment them. I'm like, man, your hair's beautiful. And they're like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, I'm not hitting on you. I'm just want to let you know that it's beautiful.
Yeah. But like, I imagine what I would feel like. And like, I'm touch averse, which means that like, I feel like it can instigate a panic attack very, very easily if somebody touches me, especially if I don't like see them, like trying to. Like if somebody comes up and claps me on the back, like that's bad. But I can't imagine like being a regular person even and having somebody just come over and start like touching you.
Yeah, no, just don't do that shit to people, man. Make sure you know them and you have consent, Yeah. Ask questions first. Fuck. Yeah, I don't like that. My thing is my face. I don't like it when people that, like my brother could come up and touch my face and I'd be like, what's up, bro? And I would just stand there because I trust him, My best friend Mo, she could like put my whole head in a headlock, and I trust her, and it's fine. But people I don't know, like when I got mad that day at work, because the provider was being a dickhead to me, and she clamped her hands on my face like this. Like, you don't do that to people. That's assault.
Sorry, I wasn't smiling at you. I was smiling at the comment, the Bobby Hill quote.
Oh,
that's my purse. I don't know you.
Yeah, it's my face, man. Stay off my face.
If
you want to come in, Stags, we're just kind of bullshitting right now, so we're talking about all kinds of stuff. Anybody wants to come in, you're welcome to. Anyways, so yeah, Stags, I was trying to watch you earlier, but where I was at, my internet was shit.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really say anything, but what are you doing, bastard? Or something, fucker.
We finally got, we started on the outdoor garden stuff.
Oh, did you?
We just have like a little 10-foot by 10-foot concrete patio, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I decided that I was going to get a bunch of planters, and I'm going to be a fucking farmer, damn it. And so I finally got everything set up yesterday on my day off. And I got all the planters set up with like dirt and everything in them and set where they're going to be. And I didn't put any seeds out there because I guess it must have just been the Hoosier instinct, because this morning it snowed. Yesterday afternoon, it was 65 degrees. This morning, it snowed.
Weird, huh?
I hate this godforsaken place.
I told you guys, get your shit together. Come out here, man. You'll be so happy.
It's like
so chilled out here, man. People don't understand. Like, this city has 80,000. This county, which the city's in the middle of the county, and the county goes out around the city.
Yeah.
Has a total of 83,000 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
In the city jurisdiction,
83,000,
and it feels like 30 or 50 or so. It doesn't even feel like that. Like at rush hour, the traffic's a little thick. Otherwise than that, there's not traffic jams. Only during rush hour. Has
almost 1 million people in it. The city has like 920 some thousand people.
No, too many. I don't want to be there.
It's a lot. It's a lot of folks.
But also, this place is just really chilled and laid back. It's kind of funny. Like, my brother calls it the land of manana. Because everybody's like, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. That's how everybody is, you know.
And I would never get anything done ever again.
You get a contractor to come in and talk, blah, blah, blah. Well, when can you start next week? And they're like, no, maybe a couple days after that, you know.
I would love to move out of the city. There's reasons, like right now, why I can't. But
kill a bitch. Somebody grab me like that, I'll fucking deck you.
Yeah. I've told my story about how I beat the shit out of my friend because he grabbed my ass.
My ass is big. That doesn't mean there's enough for everyone. You shouldn't feel free to help yourself. No doubt, right?
Exactly.
No doubt. I haven't had a motherfucker do that to me since I was like 20.
It does not matter how sexually attractive you are. No amount of being sexy is asking for it.
Yeah. No. Nobody's asking for anything.
No.
Consent, my folks. Consent.
Exactly.
Make sure it's okay, no matter what you're doing. Even if you're touching someone's scars or if you want to touch them sexually, get fucking consent. Otherwise, it's assault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything. You don't touch people. Yeah.
But I find that's the whole scar thing, though, that just like I had to think that she's probably some kind of Christian. Because this is a thing that like Christians have, especially evangelical Christians. They're obsessed with other people's pain because that's like the entry point for them to convert people. They go, oh, you're in horrible pain. Let me sell my bullshit to you.
Oh, fuck that, bro. No, I don't have time for it.
I'm not in horrible pain.
But that's why there's so many people that are so hung up on religion. It's a crutch.
Yeah.
It's a crutch. I mean, yes, I would like hope as well that when this horrible fucking life that I've been living is over, that I can do something greater and better. That would be great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unrealistic.
Yeah.
And like probably never, pretty positive that shit ain't going to happen. But yeah, I would like that kind of hope. I would like to think that when I die, I'm not just dead. You know, electricity's off. You're done. You shut off the switch. There's no electricity. There's no life left. So, would I like to think, and I tell my brother that all the time, I would love to think he's right. I would love to think that, when the shit hits the fan, the world starts falling apart, a big spaceship's going to come and we can all just get on it and go live a fucking nice life and have what we want and no more struggles. And we don't have to worry about money anymore. And we can go to other planets and help people. Fuck yeah, I'm all about it. That would be awesome. That's like awesome. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but I understand the crutch. I do. Yeah. I do understand the crutch.
People often assume like a hostility when I tell them that I'm not religious, but it's like, I really don't have a lot of animosity to anybody that would just leave me the fuck alone. But it's like, I don't have the ability to intentionally choose to believe things that I fundamentally don't believe are true.
Right.
And that's all it is. Like, it's not even that, like, even if I didn't think that Christianity had some serious flaws in terms of its like moral construction, even if I thought it was an okay belief system, I couldn't force myself to believe it because I don't fundamentally believe that its dogma is true.
Right. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I'll go off about religion all night though. Oh, I love
That's
to tell
how
people.
Your mom said it. FYI, if your son mentions being slapped by my daughters because he grabbed her butt, and that's all that was done. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Parents, I've heard a lot of parents like, and just from like people in my personal life, there's lots of dads out there like, oh, I would kill a kid if he was, rude to my daughter, whatever. Yeah. Like they say all kinds of shit like that. But then like their daughter gets sexually assaulted and they do absolutely nothing. There's so many fucking dads out there. I would do this, I would do that, I would kick someone's ass. And then like their daughter comes home crying and they do absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. See, but that's the problem with me is I'm action. I'm not just all talk.
Yeah.
Do you remember me telling you that story about the guy at the MVD and I told him to quit to drop his white privilege at the door next time?
Mm-hmm.
He was at the MVD again today with me.
Yeah.
But he was on the other side of the room and I couldn't hear anything if he was being a dick or not. But he better not have been. I would have fucking called him out again. Yeah. I'd be like, dude, you remember me? I see you, you fucking white bastard. Hey, Dr. Cross, how you doing, beautiful? Yeah, I got to flirt with her. It's a rule now. If I don't, she thinks I didn't see her.
No. Yeah.
I have discovered that with my lower voice, I'm really better at evil laughs.
That is a perk.
I am better with.
I don't know. I wonder if this is a thing that is ever going to be normal to me. But so like, I did like classical musical training because I was in various kinds of choir for like 12 years. And so the traditional like music theory, the feminine register is split into 2 parts and the male register is split into 3 parts. So you have like your chest voice and your head voice both have. And then men have the falsetto, which is actually not up here. It's like somewhere like in the back of your throat. It's like really, really weird. And so I've had this experience of like my voice getting stuck in one of these 3 places. And so like sometimes it's like down here, like in my chest. And then sometimes it's like up here and I'm like fucking, Gabriel Iglesias.
You know what I realized though? I spent so many years trying to talk higher because everybody had talked to me when my voice was at my born range. Yeah. They still thought I was a guy. So I always tried to like, hey, how are you? I can't even go that high now. Yeah. I literally can't. But that's what I used to do. And I still catch myself when I see somebody and I go, oh, hey, how are you? Up here. I try to talk up here still. And I'm like, I wish I quit doing that. Yeah. Because it's not even natural for me at this point.
I kind of did a similar thing. I did a similar thing, but for different reasons. So I had I also just had a naturally lower register of voice. But like I would have like my mom in particular had this thing where like she would accuse me of being sullen or like angry when it was just like my voice is just down here. And so I adopted the customer service voice so that no one would ever think that I was mad ever.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think part of it
now I'm like legitimately angry all the time.
Now that you say it, I think part of it does have to do with that customer service voice too.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to, oh hey, how are you?
That was like the most psychologically traumatizing part of retail, is having to do that voice all the time, because it's so disingenuous.
I'll never go back into retail. That's why I'd rather be in a truck, and that's what I'm gonna do if that's what it takes. Fuck it.
No, honestly, and like the time that I was in pharmacy was the worst working experience of my life. Like, I would go home from that and I would wish I was dead. Like, no,
why?
Why? Because I would regularly be put in positions where I had to deny people care. Because I would have situations where the best example of it is one time we had it takes forever to get put on Medicaid here. So like if you go in and you need emergent medical care, they have to put you on the state plan if you're unable to pay, so that they can cover it. But that takes several weeks. So what happens is people get sent to the ER, they get whatever emergency medical care they need in that moment. They sign them up for Medicaid, and then they shove them out of the ER and they send them on their way. So we had this lady come into my pharmacy once, and this is what had happened to her. She was in diabetic shock. She went to the ER. They were like, you have diabetes. They got her basically stable enough that she could walk out the door, and then they kicked her out of the ER, even though she had no ability to get the medications and the maintenance equipment and stuff to deal with her diabetes, which was completely out of control.
How is that even within medical guide? Anyways, go ahead.
They got her stable. They got her stable, and they sent her off. And so so she got to us. By the time she got to us, she was already shaking like a leaf. And so she came in, and she has this Medicaid paperwork, and it's not even like finished being filed. And so like we didn't know that at the time. She was like, I got these prescriptions, and we got the pens and the insulin and the monitor and the strips and all that, and we got it all together in a bag for her. And then we go to ring it up, and the insurance won't go through because the Medicaid hasn't finished filing. And so she comes up with a total for like $7,000 for all this stuff. And she's like, I can't afford this. Nobody can afford this. Nobody can afford $7,000 worth of a random bill that just happens to pop up. And this woman is dying. Like, she's literally dying in front of me. If she goes untreated, she's going to go back into shock and she's going to die. And I cannot give her the thing that I know will instantaneously make her better.
Yeah, I get it.
And so like that, variations of that situation happened all the time. And sometimes it was stuff that wasn't our fault. Sometimes it was like, hey, this extremely rare and expensive medication just can't be gotten in Indiana at this time because it's not being produced enough or whatever, or it's we can't get it here for whatever reason. And sometimes it would be insurance bullshit, where like the insurance people, they would decide 6 months into your coverage that they suddenly don't cover this drug anymore.
Yeah.
Don't you like that? I would chase down as many of those as I fucking could. I spent so many hours online and on the phone with insurance companies, just trying to get them to do what they were contractually obligated to do. And I'm
I get it.
I get it.
We have patients that have been on the same shit for years and years. Yeah. We have one patient who's been a cancer patient for almost 14 years now. Yeah. She's chronic. She is in constant pain because something about the cancer damaged some nerves or something somewhere when they went to take it out. So she's in constant pain. And we have her on a pretty high regimen, but she's been taking this shit for years. And then the insurance is like, oh, I don't know if we want to cover those together.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. She's been on it since 2007.
That kind of stuff is why I couldn't do that job anymore, because I couldn't be the person on the other side of the counter telling you that you couldn't have the thing that you needed to live.
Yeah, because the insurance is practicing medicine without a license, as Ben says.
Yeah,
that's exactly what's. But see, that's the problem these days is the pharmacies are being bought up by the fucking insurance company. So Aetna and CVS, for instance, they merged. And now if you have Aetna, guess where you have to go for your medication?
Yeah.
You have to go to CVS.
And to the credit of the pharmacy that I worked at, I worked with one of the best pharmacists that I've ever met.
What the hell are you doing?
our pharmacist was an extremely attentive. He had some kind of like crazy eidetic memory where like he would literally learn like hundreds, thousands of names of all the people and what medications they were on, and he would call people if they hadn't come to get their stuff in a while, and like, you know, we did the best that we could.
Are you okay?
But, like,
yeah,
that shit, I could like, I would go dig ditches. I would go dig graves before I would go do that again.
Right. No, I'm done.
I got upset.
Altogether.
I got upset. I'm trying to get unupset.
Take a deep breath, sweetheart. You're fine. No, it's I get it. Like, I will never go back into retail again. It was the most miserable I ever fucking was in my life. Next to my last job for the last 3 months. But otherwise than that, like, retail is the worst.
Yeah.
You get paid horribly, you get treated horribly, you don't get enough breaks. Half the time you end up working through your breaks. Like I signed a waiver to not have to clock out for lunch because I knew I was never going to get a fucking lunch. I would walk back in the office or in the break room if somebody, like, we'd all like throw somebody some money and somebody would go get everybody food because we were always busy. You know, we didn't have time to even heat up a goddamn fucking meal, you know. And they would bring it in the office, put it in the office, and I'd run in there and like chow down half of it, wrap it up, throw it in a bag, and take it home for dinner. And then I'd go right back, and I'd be in there for like 5 minutes, and that was my life. And I never took any breaks.
I have not seen Ben in like many moons. So hello.
2 weeks, or no, 4 weeks.
I did 2 shells of kava, and I feel so mellow.
I don't know what that is.
You are really mellow right now, buddy.
I did 2 shells of kava.
I can tell by your face and your
what's
body
a shell of kava? Is
oh,
this like
so kava. So kava's like it's a root, and it's
shut the front door.
It's very traditional in the Pacific Islands, but it's basically gives you kind of a CBD like effect, but it's like not detected on any test or anything. So like people don't care if you do it. Okay. And it doesn't impair you at all. It just makes you super fucking mellow. So
I might need to try that because I'm very.
I want some of that shit.
Hello, Dr. Frost.
It tastes like ass. It tastes like ass, but it feels great.
I've consumed a lot of things that taste bad.
What are you doing, sunshine?
I am really tan, but my lighting looks really awful, so I'm going to stay off camera. Do you want to see how tan I am right now?
Yeah, show me.
I'm dying. Oh. You look gorgeous.
She is beautiful.
I'm so tan. I'm sunburned a little bit.
I got a little bit red, and that's about as much color as I get.
Yeah, I don't. I wish.
I get red too. Look how orange I am. I look like I'm freaking orange, y'all.
You look great.
Thank you.
You look great. You're beautiful.
It's a little smoky in here. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I did also order some kava so I can make some of my own at home, but it's not here yet. And I needed some calm the fuck down juice because I was having the anxieties. Yeah. So but I feel better now. So
if you would give that your endorsement, I will try it.
This is the closest we're ever going to get to seeing Ben Stones. Everybody enjoy it.
This is going to be a lot more common because I need to like back off from like so much drinking on stream. So we're just going to swap it out for kava and we're going to be fine.
Yeah, we don't need you like an MD with a bad liver. So let's not do that.
Well, I mean, the kava, if I did too much of the kava, that would also fuck up my liver, but you don't need very much of it. So
yeah.
Other thing is if you're going to use kava though, you cannot drink alcohol for 24 hours afterwards because they use the same enzymes to be metabolized, and it will fuck your shit up. So if you do both at the
is like a latte thing. Can you consume it?
Well, it's not. I mean, you could. It'd be nasty. Like you don't drink kava for the taste. You do it. Number one.
Reminds me of kratom.
Oh yeah. Didn't they illegalize kratom somewhere?
No, kratom's legal.
Okay.
Kratom's not illegal. You buy it as an incense. I don't know.
Well, if you're selling kratom, you have to abide by the same things as cannabis, so it's illegal.
Yeah.
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 It depends on the state, I think.
You can buy it from overseas all the time.
I had a passing interest in kratom because somebody said that it can help with like chronic pain stuff.
Ben is on Kava tonight.
I wasn't actually brave enough to try it.
Maybe you'll get me on Kratom one of these days. See.
Honestly, I went for a while where I couldn't smoke any pot for my PTSD, and I was taking Kratom. The problem with Kratom is this: people, it's a good painkiller and stuff for your body and everything, and it relaxes you. And people will take too much of it. That's why it's illegal.
Yeah.
Because
like everything's a drug.
It's not federally regulated or anything. And until it is, they're not going to let anybody have it.
Well, no, but the point is,
I have a little pack of pills over there, and every so once in a while, if I can't smoke pot or something and I need to chill, I'll take one. You just don't want to. People will they get too used to it. They take like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, no, exactly.
One or two, not 5.
I mean, and anything is a toxin in like certain doses. Like we
not
know
anything.
That.
Not everything.
No, I mean, everything. If you have too much of it, can be a problem. Yeah. So
I've told you guys before how they gave me propranolol once for anxiety. They gave me propranolol and they told me to take it for anxiety. And and then I went to my next doctor because my blood pressure was like through the floor. And they were like, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't use that for that reason."
Gotta watch. There's certain things you don't take.
Like it literally drops your blood pressure.
Yeah.
So you just you just gotta make sure that like you have room to drop. Like if you were at like the high end of normal and you took propranolol, it would be
So I was already on like clonidine and a bunch of other stuff that also
then you shouldn't
blood pressure. So
then you that was my point. No, that was my point. That you have to have room within your blood pressure to drop and have it be safe. That's so if you like had like if you had high blood pressure or if you had high end of normal, like then you say, okay, you have like 20 millimeters mercury that you can drop. Like, okay, you could do that. But if you don't have the room to drop, then you don't put somebody on that. Kava does not get you high. It's just like, just like sleepy. People use it a lot for anxiety and for a sleep aid.
Hibiscus works though. If you make hibiscus, it's in Spanish, Jamaica. Yeah. So if you ever had Jamaica, it's a Mexican drink, or hibiscus tea. It's so good for sleep. I mix it with CBN. It's really good. Hibiscus is wonderful.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I have pretty bad insomnia. I'm obviously sitting here smoking a joint like it's like nothing. So my tolerance is pretty high.
I prefer.
I was without my trazodone for several days.
I waste it.
And so I'm looking forward to actually being able to sleep tonight. Because I take a pretty high dose of trazodone to get to sleep.
I literally get high off of sleep. Like if I sleep a whole 7 to 8 hours, I'm like high the next day. I'm like, yes!
Really?
I sleep like 6 hours. I'm a 6-hour sleeper.
Yeah, I was too until I moved into my tiny home. Weirdest thing ever, Dr. Cross. 5.5 to 6 hours every. No, seriously. I guess I don't like sleeping in big rooms. I think that's what it is. Because when I slept in the truck and I was off and I had time to sleep and I was in the tractor trailer in the back in the bunk, I slept like a baby back there. It was like a little cozy nest, you know?
Yeah.
So when I built my tiny home, now I can sleep 9 or 10 hours, no problem.
Yeah.
Or when I'm depressed, apparently I sleep 12 or 13.
Oh yeah, I feel that.
I just found that out.
I think the longest I ever slept, not in like one continuous like long sleep, but in like sleep, get up for 5 minutes to go to the bathroom, go back to sleep, was like 2.5 days. Wow. It was in a bad way. It was in a really bad way.
I can never. I have to be like deathly ill to stay in bed more than like 8 hours.
So after I had my back injury and I lost my job, like I was recovering from like having the injury, and then 2, I was like super, super depressed about losing my job, and it like really, really hurt like my personal identity because like I'm a working person. I have to work like 14 hours a day in order to feel like I've worked.
Yeah.
And so I literally just like I went to bed for like a week and didn't get up.
Wow.
But it got better. And now I work like a workaholic again. So
I'm a workaholic, so I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I normally am.
Yeah.
If I'm not working, I'm in the garden.
Well, that's what I was saying. If I get this,
to actually have stuff in my garden.
Yeah. Well, you're in Indiana. It just snowed again, so.
Oh. I'm gonna get my seed starts going inside. I did my first round too early, and so they died. Because I always do that. I always do my seed starts in like early March, and I know, I know that that's too early because this is Indiana. But so I'm gonna do my second round now, and then they'll be ready by like the first week of May, and that's when we're actually supposed to be safe to plant outside.
I already have strawberries. California's already warm.
Yeah, so you're in Southern, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in SoCal, so I already have strawberries and like tomatoes and stuff. We're already in spring. We've been in spring.
It's cold and shitty here right now.
It's only 62 degrees right now, so it's freezing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got up to 73 today. I was wearing shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah.
It was nice today.
I was having like a hot flash outside earlier today. It was snowing this morning, and I was out unloading the trucks in my t-shirt. And one of my coworkers, she's from El Salvador, and so like when it's like 70 degrees, she's wearing a coat. And so she comes out and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I just looked at her and I go, "My people are from the north."
We are Vikings and Norse. We like cold weather. That's like when I worked at Walmart, because I'd be busting I used to stock shelves overnight when I was back when I was in basic EMT school. And they had the deep freeze and then like the ice cream freezer that was like negative 10 all the time. And then they had the other freezer that was always like 28 to 32, I think, or something, or 21 to 28 was the range for that. And I would wear the same clothes in both, and people would walk into the ice cream cooler like, and I'm in there like stacking shit, putting the ice cream away or whatever it needs to go. And they're like looking at me like, I'm like, what? Because I just have a jacket on. I'm like, what? I have my jacket zipped up.
Yeah.
What?
I
got a hat and earmuffs and like these thick winter gloves. And
I got locked inside of the freezer at Kroger when I worked there.
How the fuck did somebody put a pallet in front of me?
So, and the doors themselves didn't have locking mechanisms.
Yeah.
But so I went in and I was like, I'm like obsessive compulsive. So I was like cleaning stuff up and putting like product with like product. And then somebody parked a pallet of like salt or something, like big heavy bags of something right in front of the freezer door.
I knew it, because that's the only way you can get blocked in.
The door opened outward.
I would be so mad.
Oh, and I was in a t-shirt. It was bad.
No, I mean, I'm a biochemist, so there's like labs I've worked in where we literally had to work inside of a cold room because we were handling like very fragile things that had like fluorescence attached, and we'd be in there like with coats and parkas, just pipetting away. It's horrible. I'm just like, I can't do the cold. I live in SoCal. I pay the money because I can't do it. I'll just pay the money. I'm sorry. I can't do the cold, and I can't do the Confederate flags.
I don't have the money to do
Same. I can't do that one either. Hey, Dr. Cross, I'm a
you have to agree with one.
I'm a very hot-bodied person. I'll keep you warm.
Oh,
oof.
My.
So I need to, at some point,
I'm always freezing.
At some point, I need to chat with Dr. Cross about all the funny lab stories that happen. I had the weirdest genetics lab in undergrad. Like
I like funny ones where people don't die or get stuck.
Oh yeah, no, this
is
funny. No, these are funny. These are funny.
God,
this is scary. Okay.
My genetics professor, my genetics lab professor, she was out there. She was a very interesting human, but she was super old. But she had this, like, one of those party hand clappers that you, like, shake and they clap. So she had one, and anytime she wanted to get our attention, she'd do that.
That's great.
And there were times when, because we'd have that lab, like, and of course, she's like, okay, if you come in early, then hopefully you can actually leave on time. And it was already a 4-hour lab, so... But no, like, we're not going to leave on time because we were doing shit with E. coli. And so what had happened was, this one day, so this is a really funny story. We had to, what even were we doing that day? We were doing a bunch of stuff, and we get there and we had to do our like all our PCRs and shit, and then we had to end up putting our samples in the incubator for like a while, and we had to wait. I don't remember what we were doing. It was some like long.
Maybe
yeah, I just don't remember the specifics of the project.
You know.
And
you're in med school now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. But either way, we had time.
Bro.
We had time to kill.
Infective E. coli. It doesn't really matter to you.
Yeah, we had time to kill, so we all go to like the pub on campus, and we're just like having a beer, like hanging out, like while we're waiting for our stuff to finish in the incubator.
Yeah,
and so then we go back when it's time to move our stuff back out. Yeah, and our professors like
classes, by the way,
our very odd professors like, so you guys put it in the wrong incubator, the one that wasn't on, but it's okay because she moved it over to the correct incubator.
Thank God.
But we all blamed all of us were undergrads except for one guy. His name was Paul, and we blamed Paul was had to do more work. No, yeah, because Paul had to do more work because he was getting grad level credits for the same class. So like if you're in an undergrad class getting grad credits, like you got to do some extra work because that's a lot more credit for that class.
Show leadership. Show some leadership.
Yeah, so
make sure the incubator's on, genius.
So our professor would have this dance. She'd be like, "Paul's important. So like Paul had all this extra stuff that he had to do. So poor Paul. So we're blaming Paul.
There's plug the incubator in. Why didn't Paul plug in the incubator?
Why didn't Paul do it?
Paul ain't getting paid to plug in the incubator. So he was like, whatever.
That kind of.
Oh no, he didn't give a shit. It was so funny. None of us gave a shit because we're all like, we were all in like our senior year of our biology degrees, except for Paul, who was a grad student. But all of us were like, we don't give a shit. Like we're just here to get some elective credits, bro.
Like, there's one reason I want to teach at State University over like R1s, and it's because undergrads actually fucking care. Like grad students are like, I did that, whatever, I did it, whatever.
No,
and then you go look and they do it. But undergrads are like, I need this fucking A, I got to get into med school. Like they're just on it. They're like,
well, and the last day of the class, like, so you know how you're not supposed to eat in the labs, right? That's just like a general thing. So our professor stole. She stole the toaster oven from the professor's lounge, brought it into the lab, and so we get to class. We get to class that day, and on the board, like where our lab instructors are supposed to be, she's like, bagels, toast, roughly 3 minutes. And like, did you really bring bagels and steal the toaster from the teacher's lounge?
In a genetics lab. Oh,
in our genetics lab.
E. coli all semester.
Okay. It was a fun time.
It's like seeing the mortician sitting there in the corner, like he takes a bite of a sandwich, sets it down, puts his gloves on, and then he takes it back on, takes another bite of the sandwich. Like
it was a great time. That lab wasn't.
We had I forget what the exact context of the project was because it's been so long ago. But we had a chemistry project, and we had to like make a lengthy PowerPoint presentation on a specific kind of chemical reaction. And what I decided to do for my project was I just made hard candy. I made peppermint hard candy at home, and then used that as like my sample example of like some kind of crystallization or something like that. I don't know. And then I brought a bunch of little candy to class.
Yeah.
And she was just like, "Oh, okay, you pass."
Rock candy, rock salt, and ice are all crystalline structures. You could have made ice cubes. I always look at those projects and I'm like, do you really want students to do this? Because if they bring in a tray of ice, like, you know that you have to accept that, right?
I was the troll in my physics class that would, I mean, like, if you're doing the shit that like I was doing and some other people were doing, you should just give us the A because we clearly know what's going on. Like, so on the test, I would end up doing the question twice because I had to be a little shit. So I do it the way that they wanted. And then I'd also end up converting the units to something stupid, or I'd like redefine the axes and then do it again and then still get the correct answer. Like if your students are doing that to you, they know what they're doing. You should just give them the A.
That reminds me of so I did Latin because I was that kind of nerd.
Yeah, I was that nerd too.
The Latin teacher had a rule where like every complete grammatically correct sentence you could make that was more than so many words, if you wrote that on the back of your test, you could get an extra point of credit.
Oh, I would have abused that.
And so we would literally write stuff like, you know, Mr. Perkins' feet smell and stuff like that on the back of our tests in Latin.
My ass would have been writing love poems like,
yeah,
I
right.
love you like the day, like in Latin.
The light in your eyes as you enter the classroom.
I know all the lyrics to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in Latin. And so, like, I literally did that once on a test where I just wrote the lyrics to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Right.
Rudolphus rubrinasus fulgentissimo. I'm sorry.
I love it. It sounds so much better than the regular song.
So dumb.
I would do shit like that too in Latin class.
Latin was my favorite class because all of the like oddball kids that were like the same flavor of weird as me ended up in that class. Because you know,
I didn't like my teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. The class was fun apart from the teacher.
They never offered Latin in the
I really loved my teacher. My Latin teacher was very good. He was a great teacher. It just really shattered my soul when I found out after leaving high school that he was also a raging transphobe. And so it was like, oh, that hurts.
The only difference is, Dr. Cross, is that there's less handheld firearms, more rifles, and more white people that are toothless. That's where I grew up.
No, the white people were toothless in the valley. I grew up in the valley. Really? Oh, there's plenty of toothless white people because in the 90s, remember, meth came through the San Fernando Valley.
Oh, that's right.
I live in LA now.
Yeah,
but
that
the trailer park.
Your teeth are gone.
Oh, plenty of toothless white people. We had toothless. Everybody was toothless, honey. They were doing
Yeah.
I live in a union state, and I bet you there's more stars and bars in this city than there is in the entire South. I guarantee you that. I live in Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love Jen.
I drove through Indiana and was
scum.
at a gas station. Cops came, guns out. Ma'am, whose car is this? Mine. It's my fucking brand new car. Thank you.
I told people this.
It was a Nissan Sentra at that. It wasn't even
I've told people on the stream before that like we still have sundown towns here. And people think that I'm kidding.
I believe it.
But we do. We literally do. Like it's
almost every
state to drive through southern Indiana. It's not safe to drive through southern Indiana if you are like 2 shades tanner than me.
And usually I'm your color, Larry. By the way, I'm just tan right now. I have my tan on.
Oh, okay.
So I look leagues browner. But when I was driving through Indiana, I was actually this color, and my hair was really blonde, and you know, it's like a big afro. They were like, "Whose car is this? Whose car is this?" I was like, "It's a Nissan Sentra. I mean, it's a sport." I guess that's
exactly.
I'm not driving a Beamer.
I'm driving to medical school too. I'm moving to Baltimore. Exactly. Yeah. Can I get the fuck out? What's the quickest way to get out of here and where am I?
But like some of the most dug-in racist people in the world live in union states
too. It's weird
because like I don't know.
What'd you say, Dr. Cross?
I don't know. People were just staring. Like I had gone to the gas station, gone inside the store, and people were just staring. Like, I thought they thought I was somebody because in Nebraska they thought I was Rosario Dawson, and then in another state somebody thought I was somebody else. So I was like, okay,
there's people there's literally I've told the story about Bean Blossom, Indiana before.
Why?
Bean Blossom, Indiana has 50 residents. They are all white, and they've probably seen a black person 4 times in their entire lives.
And they've never seen one with green eyes.
Right, and blonde hair.
Sure.
I hate this.
That's how it was where I grew up. That's how it was where I grew up, Larry. Like I told you the story. We had this black kid come into school, and everybody was picking on him and standing in his way, and they would just stand there and stare at him, not let him through, and all this crap. And they just, I mean, I saw my first POC when I was like 5.
Yeah.
And said, "Mom," and she said, "Later."
Yeah.
And we all shut up. And then we got in the car, and she said, "They're from a different area than us, so their skin's darker." And we said, "Okay."
I grew up in an urban area. I didn't see the big
deal.
I grew up in an urban area, and it was like an actual like mind fuck for me driving through Indiana in my 20s realizing that this is how everything outside of Indianapolis is.
Oh,
because that was completely like foreign to me because I grew up, I went to an exchange school. So we had motherfuckers from everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in the exurbs of LA, so it was like everybody was a different color, different mixture of colors and races and religions. I mean, Jehovah's Witnesses to like atheists, to Satanists. I mean, there was just everything in the exurbs of like LA back then.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I speak Japanese, Spanish, and French. And I can probably say hello and thank you in like 20 languages at least. Because it was just so diverse. So I just like got used to this kind of thing. So when I like moved to the urban area of LA where it was just all brown and black people, it was weird. Like everything. I mean, I don't know. When I went to Baltimore, that was weird. Like it's weird to me that places are homogenous. And I'm just like, it's weird.
There's more homogenous than
it's
not,
weird.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Because I'm not homogenous, so where do I go?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Everywhere, apparently.
None of us are. We're all mutts. Everybody's a fucking mutt, anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm on the spectrum, darling, in many ways.
I am the
same. I help redefine the spectrum every year. Something or another.
A wild Jenny appeared at some point, and there wasn't a good enough break in the conversation.
I went to say hi, but you guys were on a
hi, Jenny.
On a roll.
I love
good
it.
evening, everyone. How are all the kids here?
But I actually, I'm gonna have to go because I don't feel good, and I gotta wake up with the ass crack.
Yeah, thank you for coming by, Larry.
But yeah, no problem. You guys have a good night.
Oh, fine. I let you leave.
No, he told me he was
take
gonna
my
leave.
place, Jenny. You gotta carry the torch. Carry it forward.
God.
Make sure we all still exist when Larry's gone.
All right.
Bye, Larry.
Hi, Dr. Cross. Nice to be on with you. First time we've been together.
I love it. Turfs are scum. I hate turfs.
Yes,
I like to remind turfs because they're mostly women that are postmenopausal that if we're not going to give trans women their hormones, we ain't giving them their hormones either.
Yeah, right. You should have. You should see how they act.
Nobody gets hormones.
If they're running out of hormones, if they're running out of their hormone cream, they act psycho.
Exactly.
Like they're running out of their fucking Clonidine or something. Like they act crazy. I've never
take away
seen
their
their
estradiol patches. Let's see how they burn up like some witches, honey.
Do you know about the Wiley
that's
protocol, Dr.
unusual
Cross?
hot flashes? That's not nice.
Dr. Cross, do you know about the Wiley protocol? Have you ever heard of it?
Wiley?
Wiley, W-I-L-E-Y.
No.
Protocol.
I don't think so.
Just Google it. You'll find it. You should see like T.S. Wiley on there. She's a non-doctor who invented it. And basically all it is way, way high doses of fucking hormones. Like dangerously high. Yeah.
To accomplish what?
Like the pharmacy, if the patient tells us to send it somewhere that doesn't compound that particular protocol, the Wiley protocol, they will call and go, "This is too much. I'm not filling it."
Wow, what's the point of ODing on hormones?
I don't know, but I know 65, 70-year-old women that have.
Body.
I know 65 to 70-year-old women that have periods.
I think that's kind of a
Huh?
I'd rather have periods than hot flashes. I'm perimenopausal, so I had one hot flash this last year, and that sucks. I'd rather have periods, I think.
Yeah, it's best to just get a tub full of ice water if that happens again. It's the only cure for it.
After years of being with a one particular doctor who was handling my HRT, who I was very pleased with. We had a great relationship. She retired, and I've got this new doctor who first thing she says to me is, "Well, we want to drop your dosages to menopausal woman's level." You know, and it's like, wait a minute. Have you read anything about my history with HRT? And she must not have, because I do not do well on any lower of a dose than I'm on now. I have lots of trouble.
And that's really hard to dial in too. If you're at your optimal, like.
Oh yeah.
It should be good.
Yeah, I mean, it took a year to balance it out and figure out what's going to be good. And now she wants to just change it because she thinks it should be lower. honey, just leave me alone. I'm not going to die from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I do, who cares?
Die happy, honey.
We
That's
care.
what I say.
Shut up, Jenny.
If people die happy, I'm not mad.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna let Dr. Crossfield this first, and then we'll go to Ben. Speaking of hormones, has anybody heard of Tucker Carlson interviewing a guy who recommends men tan their testicles with red light to boost testosterone?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Absolutely. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I've never even heard of this.
Oh, okay. Well, let me.
Red. I'm trying to figure out how long wavelength light, because that's what visual red is. Or like even infrared spectrum, like when they would mutate your sperm, first of all, probably incubating your testes, because they don't have skin to like block sun because they're between your legs, right? So it's a very thin skin on the testes, and your gametes are right there, and you're going to focus single wavelength light that could break DNA and cause mutation. And so you're going to be shooting a lot of blanks. It might boost your testosterone, but you're going to shoot a lot of blanks just from a genetic standpoint.
But here's my thought. Yes, you could increase your testosterone through the protection of testicular cancer, which could be hormonally active.
The next part.
So, I mean, we're on the same wavelength here. Like, yeah, sure. At what cost are you increasing your testosterone? Because you're going to have to get your testes removed now because they're cancerous.
Well,
it's like those women taking too much estrogen.
Position on this. There have been studies done, as I understand, that do show that there may be some beneficial properties to red light and people and maintaining health, and in particular follicular stimulation to help regrowth hair and some other things. So even though it seems to be at an infancy of its science, red light therapy may just be the answer to everyone's troubles. And I think that if any of the conservatives want to expose their testicles to red light, that they should really feel free to do that.
I think they should use ultraviolet light. It's so much better.
I was cringing for a minute, and then I heard where Jenny was going with it, and then I was like, okay.
I recommend purple spectrum, indigo light. Actually,
well, now remember, was it a year or 2 years ago that everybody was advocating that men lay on their backs up to the sun and tan their crotch, spread legs and tan their crotch. You remember any of that stuff?
I've never heard that.
Oh no! What? Well,
I mean, I know gay men do it all the time because gay men will tan everything, even like spread their butt cheeks and make sure they get it all.
I know to cover my nipples if I want to tan my titties, right? You don't want to get nipple burned. Anyone who's had nipple burn. But I've never heard of tanning the crotch area for any medical.
Oh yeah, that was. And I forget what the reason for it was. Some kind of health benefit, of course.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't get over the image
their balls are too pale anyways. They probably need some sun.
I just couldn't get over the image of somebody laying there on their back with their legs spread, holding them open, and exposing themselves to the sun at the beach.
Like, what are you doing? Tanning my balls.
Well, the opposite craze of that was the people with the cryo freezing, like the cryo spa, where they're in a cold thing and spraying in liquid not directly liquid nitrogen, but like some liquid nitrogen in a tank that like goes around like smoke in their body.
All you'd have to do is put a block of that ice in there. What's it called? Dry ice.
Why don't you just go outside naked in the winter? I mean, most people.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't it cheaper?
Anyway.
Yeah, just do that. Put on a Speedo and go outside
in the winter. I don't get this. Why are we paying for this?
Well, when I heard this thing about the red light on the balls, and that it's the conservatives that seem to be interested in this, I thought back to ivermectin and swallowing bleach and all those other strange things that they seem to be into. And so I'm just going like, geez, this really sounds like a way to sterilize a lot of conservative guys if they get involved in some kind of DIY system on this.
I mean, I always say if I really wanted to make money, I would just make some shit up, sell some like salt water or something, like rehydrate. That people literally do that. They sell salt water that's flavored and go, it's rehydrating. No, it has a bunch of minerals and shit in it that's gonna help me absorb the water. It's salt water, like Gatorade.
You're talking about jelly juice. Are you familiar with jelly juice?
Look, jelly juice is so nasty. Like fermented cabbage juice. I love kimchi. I love fermented cabbage, as a matter of fact. But just to drink the juice? Just to drink the juice? No.
Oh, no, it's worse than kimchi. It's so heavily salt laden.
Yeah.
And you go on a program with this, and after like a week or so, all you're doing is for defecation. All you're doing is pouring out water. And it's just, oh my God. And
that's what happens when you drink salt water.
It's such a bizarre movement.
Beach for a week and you get the shits. It's probably because you drank some salt water while you're in the water. It will give you the
and
shits.
I love a pickle.
Right out.
But I love cabbage that's fermented, but I'm not going to drink.
I forgot, Ben.
That's weird.
What?
I have pickles and vodka.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't drink tonight because I did the kava.
No, I don't want you to drink. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Pickles and vodka.
Go for it. I did the kava.
I'm ready. I gotta wash my shot glass, so I'm not doing anything tonight.
I don't know what pickles and vodka are. I know what pickles are. I know what vodka is, but not
it's
together.
It's just really good together.
It's a pickle shot. I think. It's so
pickle
good.
Juice and vodka. It's a pickle shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. You like pickle juice? You like it.
I'll even do a dirty martini, but like jelly juice was.
You know, I've never had a martini. I've never tried one.
I recommend a lemon drop.
I was at a fancy restaurants with my bosses and shit because one of them's about to retire, and they ordered martinis, and then one of them said, "Make mine dirty," and the lady goes, "How dirty?" And he said, "Just a little bit of juice," and she's like, "Okay," and I was like, "What do they put in it to make it dirty?" And he said, "Olive juice," and I said, "Oh my God, I love olives.
Yeah,
why did I not try a martini?
Yeah,
make it extra dirty."
I get mine extra dirty. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I would drink that.
I was like, I thought you were gonna say extra dirty. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I want extra.
I don't even drink hard liquor usually, but I drink beer. Yeah, I'm a beer and wine person.
Yeah,
human thing.
Human.
I don't drink.
I don't know. I'm not big on a lot of things, really. Like I drink beer in the summer because it's hot. When it gets hot out, nothing better than a fucking cold beer, man. Golden State Cerveza
from my local brewery.
Nice.
Yes, it's a woman-owned company, and if you go to the brewery, in the bathrooms, they have signs that say, if you're with someone and you're not feeling well, they're making you uncomfortable, or otherwise you're just uncomfortable with the people or person you're with, you can go to the bar and order like what's it called? A golden shot. Not a golden shower, a golden shot, and someone will
big difference.
And someone will escort you to a safe place and get you home. Like,
no
I
shit.
guess this is for if people, because it's a brewery, so they have like a lot of people drinking there and stuff.
Yeah, just in case something happens. Yeah,
I thought that was nice.
Great,
I was like,
though.
Of course, it's
great.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I've heard of a number of places that are doing that now.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
So do you guys, I know this is really weird, but it came up in my mind and people have been talking about abortion laws and stuff lately. Has anybody heard of the old project, the Jane Project from the 70s?
Yeah.
No.
The Jane
I wasn't alive then.
The Jane Project was this. They made abortion illegal, and these women were having these, as Dr. Cross might know, probably knows, and I know Jenny knows, women were doing back alley abortions with coat hangers, and they were bleeding to death. Because this is what happens when you make abortion illegal. So, so they set up this system. The places that used to do abortions, these women set up this system. You could call and say, "Hey, I need to make an appointment." They'd say, "Oh, what's your name?" "Jane." "Okay, hold on, Jane." And they would send you over to another person to set up the abortion. And they had a big system going. It was like an underground abortion railroad, basically.
So I haven't heard of that. That's a good idea too.
Yeah, so look, you guys can look it up. Look up the Jane Project,
and
write abortion, and you'll find it really easily. I actually heard him talking about it on NPR, and I thought it was just the most amazing thing that these people got together across states and did this. Like this was like going on randomly throughout the entire United States at the time. And I didn't even know about it until I heard it on NPR. And then I looked it up, and I just blew my mind.
Well, it's going to have to start happening all over again.
Yeah.
In the very near future.
I know. I'm just saying, we need to find
I don't
a newer
understand
name.
like why rape and incest even are still not cases. You know what I mean? Like why why? I want to know why.
Well, because those backwoods people are having incest, and then they would be
who are those people? Are they making the laws too?
They don't want their
because the
daughter
Bible,
not having their baby.
The Bible legitimizes incest and rape.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm not religious. I'm like, ew, all this incest. It's like Game of Thrones. I can't watch Game of Thrones either. Yuck.
Yes, Kevin, it is generally called it is generally called an angel shot, but the place she was at is called the Golden State. So they made it a golden shot instead. But yes, it is called an angel shot. That's what you're supposed to do.
We have a
Golden Road Brewery in LA. They're awesome.
We have a gas station chain here that in every women's room there are pamphlets and little tear-off post-it notes with phone numbers for anybody who's trapped into human trafficking and needs to get out, wants to get out.
Nice.
And secret numbers to call and things like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of that in Los Angeles because at one point, when I was in my 20s, I remember people were spiking drinks everywhere. I mean, you would get a spiked drink and go home with your friends and be like, I think someone put some shit in there,
That happened to me.
Rampant.
That somebody did that to me in 2013. And me and my ex had gone to the bar, and it was the day after Thanksgiving. And then we were supposed to put the Christmas tree up that weekend and decorate the whole house and everything. And all I remember is I went out to have a cigarette. I came back and I got a shot from the bartender, and my chaser was sitting there. And I took a slug of my chaser, and that's the last thing I remember. I woke up 4 hours later in my car with puke all over me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it made me puke. I'm really sensitive to a lot of drugs. Yeah, it probably was good.
The best thing that can happen if you have a drug is if you vomit. If you think you've gotten a drug, because it gets it out, at least most of it, and hopefully.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I puked within like 20, 30 minutes of it happening.
That's good.
Because my ex said you were acting so drunk, and the bar had like a little diner that at the end of the night they'd open it up and they'd serve breakfast food. So it was right at the end of the night and everything, and well, it wasn't really at that point, but she got me in there and got some coffee for me, and then asked one of them to make me some food, and we went there all the time. We knew the people that owned the place were friends of ours, so they were like, "I got you, man." And so I literally went to puke, and she caught it in her hands. She said, "That's fucking love." So, which she ended up being a total bitch, and we broke up the next year. But anyways, not the point. So I wake up in my car. It's actually kind of a fucked up story, so it's kind of funny. So I wake up in my car, and I'm like, the last thing I remember standing at the bar, literally. I don't remember puking. I don't remember sitting there trying to drink coffee. I was totally blacked out through all of that. I have no cognition of that. So I wake up, I sit in my car, and I didn't really like to smoke in my car. So if I could avoid it, unless on long trips. So I got out of my car to have a cigarette, and I had a Nissan Altima. And that year they made those handles. When you open the handle, your hand would lock the door. I locked myself out of my car. So I go, oh, fuck, where's my keys? Oh, my keys are gone. Where's my wallet? My wallet's gone. What the fuck is going on? Now I'm pissed. Because I thought I would have been robbed. Right? I thought somebody robbed me and just dumped me in my fucking car. I didn't know what was going on. So I was like, what the fuck? And nobody's there. And there's only like 2 cars left in the parking lot. It's like 10 minutes after closing. I'm like, where the fuck is my girlfriend? Everybody just abandoned me here? I was pissed. I didn't know. I was fucked up on a rupee. So I fucking started walking home. And the only thing I had in my pocket was my cell phone and my cigarettes. So I got like a block and a half away, and I was like, I'm going to piss my pants. So there was a post office right there. So I went over by the post office, dropped my fucking pants by the post office dumpster, took a piss in the back alley, fucking shook it off as best I could and said, fuck it, pulled my pants. I was pissed. I didn't care. Walked up the fucking, and we lived, like the town was at the bottom of the hill and we lived up at the top of the hill. I'm walking and I'm almost home. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I'm like a block and a half from my house, from our house. and my phone rings. Where are you? And I'm like, I'm going home. Where are you? Where's everybody? Where are my keys? Where's my wallet? So she was like, well, come back down here. Come back down here. I'll give you a ride home. I don't want you to go in the house and you're really drunk and wake up Carly and scare her. And she's never seen you drunk like this. And I'm like, dude, I'm not drunk. Something's wrong with me. Something's wrong. I don't feel good. Hilarious. I mean, it was not just a drunk thing. Like, I felt just sick and horrible. So I walked all the way back down the fucking hill because she made me. And I didn't have, and then I realized, well, I have to walk. She's got my keys. I can't get in the house. So I walk all the way back down the hill, go back down there. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, don't even start with me. If you can't handle your liquor, that's your problem. And I was like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. So she thought I got too drunk, accused me of not controlling myself for months afterwards. And it turned into a separation from that. That's what did it. That's what did it. And I told her, I said, I think somebody, and I ended up, I couldn't eat anything. I had no strength or energy. I had a headache for like 2-3 days. I had to pretend like I was happy putting up the Christmas decorations, and every like 30-45 minutes, I'd go in the bathroom and dry heave.
That's also strong roofies. If you're having headaches for a few days, it's probably pretty strong dose.
I dry heave for 2 days. I could
That's
barely
probably why you threw up. I mean, because usually,
really, it's probably saved me. I probably would have fucking been at the hospital if I hadn't thrown up.
Yeah, that's like an OD. But,
I mean, and she said I puked about 45 minutes or an hour after, I was magically drunk, and she didn't understand it.
Yeah, I said, because you do act drunk when you're roofing.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is how we
lose your balance a lot, and it just looks like the visual is drunkenness.
Yeah,
but if you know roofies, like, you'd have to drink a lot in a small amount of time. And you'd have to probably mix a lot, like drink like hard liquor, beer, wine.
And we didn't even do that.
And then maybe take some like cold medicine too to actually
exactly.
That's why I'm always weird about people being really shit-faced in public, like especially women. I'm like, is she okay? Who are you?
Like,
I don't know her, but I'm about to.
Because you want to make sure they're not drugged or something, right?
Because like you think about it, and like most people don't get that drunk on their own. They start feeling sick, and they're like, oh.
You'll get 1 out of 100 people walking in a bar that do that, but not a bunch of them. No, it's not common.
But these days, any woman who goes into a bar is taking her chances. It's there's certain rules. You don't go to a bar alone. Watch your drink every minute. Do not leave alone. And if somebody follows you, turn around and go back in the bar.
Yep.
Right.
And just
where there's lots of people.
And let the bartenders know.
Yeah, it's just what you got to do nowadays. And it's
I'm going to tell you, here's a fact. Speaking of that golden shot, angel shot thing that Tubian brought up, and thank you for bringing that up to Tubian, because I couldn't remember it. Purple, you have a link. Come on in if you want.
Purple!
If any given bar that you're at, this is all for all the women or trans or LGBTQ people that might be out there getting harassed. If you are any bar you are at, if that bartender's been a bartender for more than a year, he knows, she knows about the angel shot. That is like US wide. That is not something that's specific to one local area. So even if you're a guy and you're in a bar and you're in trouble, go do it. They'll take care, because they'll be like, why are you asking? But just tell them, so if something's going on and you can't get out the door and somebody's coming after you or trying to hurt you, fucking use it. That's what it's there for. Yeah.
I'll be right back, you guys.
All right, cool. Yeah, that was the beginning of the demise of our relationship, was because she thought I got too drunk one time in 2.5 years, one time. Isn't that great, Jenny? I find such wonderful, loyal women, don't I?
I'm glad that I'm a non-drinker. It's saved a lot of trouble over the years.
Well, I save a lot of money these days. Honestly, she was a heavy drinker, and I ended up just like starting to drink with her. You know how you do that when you're with somebody? You kind of just like, if you smoke, like maybe you smoke 2 cigarettes a day and you're dating somebody that smokes 2 packs, you end up smoking a pack a day. It's like that. So I ended up drinking more when I was with her, because she drank so much. And we would literally, on that particular night, this is what we would always do, and that's what we did on that night. We'd call the bar about 4 or 5 hours before we got there and said, hey, do you guys have a bottle of Silver Patron? it's Beck and Amy, and they go, oh yeah, we got one. Or they'd say, oh, I'll grab one. I'll go grab one. I'm like, okay, well, set it aside for me. We're gonna buy that bottle tonight. Because it was cheaper to buy the bottle than the shots. So I'd buy the whole bottle off them and they just served me out of it. And I'd buy, chasers, and they always gave them to me for free anyways, because we bought the bottle. But so that night that happened, she was like mad at me for being drunk. I said, Amy, you and I always drank the same. She's like, I know. And I'm like, I drank every shot with you. And she's like, well, I don't know how you got drunk, but you did. I'm like, I was roofied. I knew that's what I knew I was roofied. I knew it. It's the only thing that made sense. And she just never would. She was a fucking paramedic and wouldn't acknowledge it, and was mad at me for being too drunk. Like a 20 some odd year paramedic. She should know better. Oh, it's like that in Canada and Australia too, Dave. Nice. Oh, okay, Purple. We'll feel better. I hope you're okay. So what have you been up to, Jenny? I haven't talked to you in a while. How you been?
Well, nothing. I've been just at home and doing a lot of sleeping and watching Dr. Phil. And
is that one of your guilty pleasures, Dr. Phil?
No, I don't actually watch Dr. Phil. Just hanging out, doing crap.
Cool. Good.
I finished that chair I was refinishing, and
oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah, and
come out good.
Well, yeah, but the finish came out good. But it was all loosey goosey. You know how chairs can get over time, and I tried to reglue everything. Even use these proper sealants or glues that help to expand the wood to tighten the joint and stuff like that. And it didn't work. And I got this really nicely finished chair that I wouldn't set my fat ass in because it'll probably collapse. So
you should send me pictures of it. I might have some easy ways for you to fix it.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's just a
chair
I pulled out. Just a chair I pulled out of the garbage.
Give me something to do.
No, it's a chair I pulled out of the garbage. It's not worth any effort.
Oh well. I just figured since you put that much into it, I was going to help you finish it.
No, I've been
Purple could probably do the same thing,
but better. Kid. My mom and dad were furniture refinishers, and I learned a long time ago how to do it.
Well, but refinishing and repairing, if you're not into woodworking, is two different things.
Well, it's all the same to me. Repairing and refinishing.
So they did the woodworking, like repairing themselves as well.
No, they didn't, but I do.
Oh, okay.
My dad was incompetent with the tool. Just keep him far away from saws and stuff. No, don't want him in there. Just don't.
Purple, I don't know whether to laugh or be confused right now. What did you mean by that? Anyways, yeah, I haven't been up to much either. I just doing applications when I find something that's decent and I can pay my bills with, and I don't know. Oh, here's a good thing. Here's good news. So when I went to change my name, I went to the DMV, and the guy at the DMV said, well, your CDL license is suspended right now. And I said, yeah, I know. I said, they took it away from me because I forgot to do my medical certification. He goes, we can get it back for you. And I said, dude, are you serious? I said, I thought I was screwed. And he said, no, I got you. He said, we have some different rules in this state. Cause I said, because if I was in Ohio, I would just be out of a license, And he's like, no, I got you. So he tells me he's like, go ahead and file your name change with the Social Security office, get your new Social Security card, go get a physical done, and I will put it in and I'll push it through and make sure you have your CDL back. And I was like, sweet. Now this is a guy I come in to talk to him. He's obviously a gay man. He's Hispanic, of Hispanic descent, kind of a big guy, such a sweetheart, so smart, so funny. So I came in and I said, oh, I just got my name changed. And I was like this. And he was like, oh, good for you. And I said, yeah, I'm transitioning. He was like, that's awesome. Good for you. So I came back today and with all the paperwork I needed. And I said, look, I got this and I got that done. He goes, I'm so excited for you. He said, I know I'm not supposed to say stuff like that. It's not professional, but I'm really excited for you. And I was like, sweet. I said, I appreciate it, sweetheart. So he did all the paperwork, and I had to, you know what I had to do today, Jenny? I had to go back to the fucking office because Dr. Warenko missed the fucking medical examiner certificate at the bottom of the fucking page. So I had to get a hold of her. I said, look, I know everybody hates me and you probably don't want to help me right now. And I understand that. But since you were the doctor that did this, I need this piece of paperwork taken care of. And she was like, I don't hate you. She said, of course I'll do it for you. And I said, oh, well, thank you. She goes, we don't hate you, Beck. And I said, well, at least somebody there doesn't, right? And so, yeah, so they made, you know what she did? She made Michelle bring it out to me, the office manager I got in a fight with before I left. Before I walked out the door and then got fired. Sent home and then fired. Yeah, so she brings it out to me, brings me out the paperwork. Then I had to ask her to go in and get something different. And I said, look, I'm not trying to be a dick and make you run back and forth, but I don't want to walk in that door and ruin Heather's day. So I'm trying to be considerate. And she's like, no, I got you. And I said, okay, thank you. So when I went to leave, I said, take care of yourself, Michelle. I said, good luck. She said, you too. So I was nice to her, but yeah,
well, if you get CDL, you can always get a job truck driving. They are desperate for people.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, Jenny. I just applied today for this job. It's a dedicated solo run, and you just go from Santa Fe to Colorado and back, and it's like an 8-hour trip. So I should be able to do my entire day in less than 10 hours, 10 hours at the most, including like inspecting the truck and getting it fueled up and whatever else I need to do and picking up the stuff and dropping it. So I drop it off up there. It's all drop and hook. There's no unload or anything. I just drop it in the yard and then come back. It's 3 days a week. So it's going to be about 30 hours a week. And I will get about $900 a week versus the $500 I used to make.
Jeez.
For working 13 less hours and 2 less days.
And that doesn't sound like such a bad route. And
I mean, fuck, dude. I'll take
have to unload. That's great.
Nope. Don't have to unload. And they said you have to have doubles or triples. And I do. And I have a tanker. So, yeah, I went ahead and I sent him my fucking resume through an email today. So that's why I was telling everybody to like cross fingers. And if you want to fucking pray, I don't care. Whatever works. I really want this job because it'd be perfect. I'd get 4 days off a week and make $400 more a week than I used to. $300 to $400.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and working 5 days a week and all the stress and fresh start. Yeah.
When do you start?
Oh no, I just applied today. I haven't heard back from them yet.
Oh, okay.
So everybody, I'm just like, please, just cross fingers, cross toes, throw some good vibes out there for me because I need this I need a job, and I'm not in a hurry for it, but it's there now. So I would really like to get that job. It sounds so fucking easy, and it's probably a day cab, so it's probably easy as fuck to drive because they're shorter. You know the concept, Jenny. Shorter wheelbase, easier to drive. So
well, at least on turns it is.
Well, yeah, and when you gotta like get into tight spaces and shit, it makes a big difference.
I just don't like anything with a pivot. No.
Oh, you wouldn't want to pull a double pivot up the road, 2 trailers?
No, definitely not.
I've had that endorsement for a long time, and I went and I applied for a job doing hauling doubles for ABT transport. Anyways, they're the green and gray or green and yellow trucks, dark green and yellow. Anyways, so I went and applied with them, and I found another job that was better, but I went and they did a road test with me, and they put me in a truck with doubles and said, back them up. And I had never driven doubles before. And I backed those fuckers up and kept them in the lines. It was great. I couldn't believe I fucking did it, right? It's so hard to do. Backing up a double pivot is a fucking bitch.
Yeah, I can't.
Right, exactly.
I can't even
back
up
it
a single pivot.
They made me back it up 150 feet. And I did 150 feet, and I stayed within the lines, which was the width of a lane on the highway or road lane. Traffic lane. Thank you, Mage. Hopping on one foot always helps. Every time. Run weed to North Carolina and return with a truckload of shine. No, Ox, that's called illegal. I don't do that. That's why I've never been in jail, buddy. And I'm not picking on you because I know you've had a rough life, but I don't do obviously illegal stuff. Let's put it that way. Or federally illegal stuff. Although I am going to be getting this job and then smoking pot still in the evenings, but don't tell anybody. I'm just going to go buy some fake piss.
I should go get some schoolwork done. So I'm gonna let y'all hang out.
My brother pee in a cup. Yeah, go get your schoolwork done, buddy. I'm glad.
Okay, bye everyone.
Glad you're more chilled. I love you, buddy.
See you, Ben.
Love you, Ben.
Yeah, I mean 150-foot backup. Purple. I'm pretty proud of that. And I had never driven double before that day. They just had him sitting in the lot in a lane and said, you have to back this up. Bro, it don't matter. I'm not doing it. Doc said, sure, scream it out. Let the feds know. Jeez.
So what kind of pot you smoking tonight, honey?
Me? I am chilling with my friends from this name is horrible. So it's a local brand that I discovered outdoor because I smoke joints, so there's no point in buying indoor. I grow my own indoor anyways.
Yeah.
I have this brand I can't pronounce.
I can't.
I can pronounce a lot of strange freaking words. Okay,
it's spell it out.
Sherbinski.
Sherbinski. Okay.
It's one of those like Polish words, right? It's not something you come across all the time.
Oh, I grew up in Milwaukee. Polish is not a problem.
This brand is about gelatos, so I've been trying it out, and it's actually really good. I love it. Nice. It's outdoor. It's amazing. It's tested at 29%. So
what do you mean outdoors? You mean grown outdoors?
Yeah. So we have both industries in California, indoor, outdoor. Usually indoors, urban areas and like suburban, and then outdoor is like you're way out, like Central California to Northern California. Where it's nice and hot, and there's tons of caterpillars to just ruin your whole crop,
Yeah. Yeah, I buy from a local grower. I buy from a local grower here. It's indoor, but it's pretty good stuff. And right now I'm smoking T-Mac. And he said the guy that works there is named Mac. I started calling him Big Mac now. What's up, Big Mac?
It's not the same Mac. Wait.
No, not the same Mac. But they grow it local here. Yeah, it's grown in New Mexico, so it's grown local.
Oh, nice.
And I'm all about supporting local, absolutely. Man. And he said it reminds you of California, and I was like,
I'd like to try them.
I said, what does that mean? He goes, you'll know when you taste it. It's like fresh and green and a little citrusy and kind of like a little sea-ish. And I was like, what? But it really, I think it tastes like California.
It tastes like California. Let me see if I have any good samples.
So funny.
Yeah, California. It's really it's a lot of the BC buds we got, and we mixed them with these like Afghani strains, which is mostly what I use for research. And like they have this skunky smell, and like then you can get like more of like our SoCal strains that are more like diesel. Diesel is more Central California. It's like diesel's a big thing. It smells like gas. Oh, Alien's good.
Oh yeah, I
haven't tried it yet. That's a good strain. Okay. Yeah, it's a really good strain.
I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, I always buy two. I'll buy 2 of what I know I like, 2 grams of what I know I like, and then 2 of something new that I want to try.
Yeah, this one has that smell. It's kind of, let me
see. I can almost smell it.
It's beautiful.
Look at this.
The lighting in here is so funky, but it's like really sticky. Like, this one was 32% THCA. So I'm like, what?
Damn. 32. That's pretty high.
Yeah, it's really high. So it's too sticky to like roll a joint. So you have to mix it with like some lower grade or some like trim.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, I can
wish-
smell that too. That looks good.
I wish
See
my
those
state would
red,
make
see
it.
those nice red dots in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish
and it
my
looks
state
fuzzy,
would make it
right?
legal.
The fuzzy,
This
like,
is the alien OG. Yeah.
the fuzzy stuff is the trichomes where all the cannabinoids are made. Just free lesson. The more snow, the stronger it's going to be. And I study trichome chemistry and like how it affects the cognitive neurochemistry of humans. But I'm going back to academia, and I'm doing I'm going to propose a project that's going to be groundbreaking. So I'm so excited.
Are you really?
Yeah, Professor
keep me abreast. Keep me abreast of the situation.
I will.
So let me know what's going on.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet from the first round, but there's other options to go exactly where I want to go. So
there you go. There you go.
Not
Look at you, little inventor.
I know. I came up with this amazing idea, and I was like, "Oh my god, I want to work at an underground institute. I have some amazing experiments, and it'll be about weed." You're like, ugh.
Man, where have you been all my life? You sure I can't be next in line?
I mean, nobody's in the fucking line, really. I mean,
okay, then I'm in line.
I'm wearing it's from the reservation.
Oh, this ring I'm wearing, I bought it for myself because I didn't. I wanted something nice for myself.
Oh, this is a clan ring, so.
I was thinking I should probably put it on the other hand so people don't think it's the other finger.
Oh, this is on my middle finger, so.
Oh God, it will go on that one.
Central.
Hey, there we go. Put it over here in this hand.
Jenny. Turfs are scum.
Jenny.
I love it.
Yeah. I've been trying. You guys have been ignoring what I'm trying to say, so I'm just listening.
I didn't hear you even talk.
I'm so sorry.
Well, that's because you're talking too much and too loud.
Same. Yeah, I know. I do.
Are you not on B's stream here? Sorry, Jenny. Go ahead. I'll shut up. I'll mute myself.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I was gonna try and start dating Dr. Cross tonight, but you're obviously into it, so go ahead. You're closer.
Hold on here. Hold on. First of all, yes, I am very much closer to Dr. Cross because I'm in New Mexico. So, and second of all, I've been hitting on Dr. Cross for months, Jenny. I started this a long time ago. I've really been working hard at this. So
I don't care.
No cock blocking, bro. Come on now.
Jenny doesn't follow the rules. I already like her.
She's spicy.
All is fair in love and war.
That's right. That's all we love, Jenny. She's spicy.
No, I'm in Minnesota, so nothing's going to happen. Don't worry about it.
Minnesota.
We're still waiting for them to make it legal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, not
Wisconsin
even medical?
Too. The medical they do, but there's no dispensary.
Oh, so it's like grow your own.
Yeah, and but it's not legal to grow your own. They just.
I never understood that kind of law. That's weird.
No, it is really weird.
That doesn't make sense.
Make some points for getting elected.
Wow. Oh, politicians. Ugh. You know what? There's someone running for California governor on the ballot. I just got my ballot information packet. And, I read that shit. I highlight it.
Yeah.
Underline because I'm really suspicious. I'm in LA, so it's like all of the politicians are bought. Everyone's paid for. California, and it's like everyone's like neoliberal paradise. And I'm like neoliberal paradise. We voted for Bernie, but anyways. So this one candidate for governor said, "Fuck all politicians" in her description, and that's it. I'm voting for her.
That's what she put?
Yes.
Oh my God, I would totally. I wish I was in that state.
Everyone's gonna vote for her. We're just like, yeah.
Well, that's the problem, is we have all these old white fucking politicians in there that are still thinking it's 1930. Grow the fuck up. When they do the
right thing, it's for the wrong reasons. They legalized recreational cannabis here by undermining medical cannabis and charging high taxes even for medical cannabis now.
What?
So it made it more expensive, but then it got more cheap. And now people are going out of business because it's more cheap. It didn't get more expensive. It got more cheap to produce because everyone could go buy a license for $8,000 a year and make it. So there's a lot of competition still, even though it's really expensive to get in the business now. But yeah,
I'm insane. We don't pay taxes on medical here.
Today I announced that I stopped consulting for the cannabis industry altogether because of like yeah.
That's insane.
No more. I'm no longer a consultant. I told them this was going to happen.
I have no idea the answer to that question because I am not part of the committee that sets up the streams. Purple might know. Savage Minnow might know. Ben might know. Oh, hold on.
Purple's your best bet.
This is for Purple, actually.
Purple Haze is cool.
Purple Haze. Purple
in my
Haze.
brain. I opened this shit on the table.
I open a beer.
Like a grown-ass motherfucker.
You're like my soulmate. Are you sure? You don't want to give this a shot?
How I met my last partner, I opened his beer on the curb and he was like, damn. And I'm, in LA, when like female people, feminine folks, we don't do that, I guess. So he was like, all right, she can take care of herself.
You took one step too close to manly and freaked him out. That's what it was. Yeah.
I can open a beer with a spoon.
I like a tough woman that can. There you go. See?
There you
I like
go,
a tough
Jenny.
woman that open her own fucking beer. God damn it. I've been opening them for years. The table's loose. It's not her fault.
My table is very more than loose. She's a whore.
I can hear it. Do you want me to come fix it for you? I can come fix it for you.
I can't do that anymore.
I do woodworking.
If I do, I'm on Warfriend. So if I do, I'm going to end up with this huge, blood spot. It's going to just take over my entire hand like Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Oh, see? Thank you, Purple. I forgot. First of all, Mage said for medical marijuana, I need a doctor's exam, then I need to purchase a license, then another exam, then the prescription is all out of pocket. See, that's not how now the prescription is out of pocket here.
Mm-hmm.
But the applying for it with the state,
it's a scam. I'll tell you from California with love, it's a scam because we went through this era too.
No. Hold on. This is the best way it's set up. So you pay regular price for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't pay for the card. The application and everything is free. You don't pay for anything.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's great.
And your doctor's visit will be covered by your insurance. You just pay a copay here.
Oh, okay. That's good. In
so
California,
it's like $10
we have the
when you have it in your hand.
mills. Yeah, we have prescription mills
they don't
here
do it.
forever. It was like $300, and then they sold these things called 99 plant licenses, and I'm like, it was totally illegal, and like you could never have more than like 24 plants in California. So
right,
I
remember that.
But now we have like hemp versus marijuana. Like we have all this weird stuff. So I'm just gonna go like back to like working in academia now.
Right.
Rather than, because I don't know how many times I'm going to say no, CBD lip balm is not patentable. It's just not a patentable idea. It's just not.
No, well, because there's no way to regulate it.
Cannabinoid makeup is not a thing. Like, this is stupid. Like, how many lotions can we make? Like, it's just gotten boring and redundant. It's good money, but it's boring and redundant. And I'm competing with people with like half, if that, the education. And people are telling me my rate is too high. And I'm like, do you know how much Johns Hopkins medical school costs per year? Even for a PhD, it's 80-something thousand a year. I didn't pay for it, but still, I mean, it's worth something. You have to pay me. Sorry.
See, that's bullshit, Mage. They're charging you for the license and everything. That's the state making money off of you guys. That's ridiculous. Do you pay taxes on it too?
It's only $75 at least. It was like $300-$400 in California at one time.
Oh, I mean, you can go into places here and they have a doctor on site and pay them $250, and they'll sit down and talk to you and give you the piece of paperwork you need to move on with your life. But or you can just go to a family physician if you have one. But it's simple here. I took it into work with me, and I walked over to my girlfriend and said, "Hey, can you sign this for me so I can get medical cannabis?" She said, "Sure." And it was before she was my girlfriend, actually. She wasn't my girlfriend at the time. Anyways, so she signed it, and I mailed it off, and in like 6-7 days, I had the card in the mail.
I don't think it should require a physician's note. I think we all know when we need medical cannabis. Like, it's just so juvenilizing and infantilizing that grown adult can't tell you that their migraines go away when they smoke weed. Like, that's so stupid.
But in most states in the United States, you could drive through a building and get beer.
Yeah. You don't need a
car.
prescription for alcohol, and it's like it's
you
way
don't have
more
to get out of your
deadly.
car. I know. I like to sell it to you in your car and then tell you not to drink and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're 14 in Tennessee, you can get married. You know, it's
Can't smoke weed. God damn it.
Can't smoke weed though. She can
I
pop
would
out
need
them
to smoke
babies.
weed if I got married at 14.
Pop out them babies for Papa. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, you can pop out them babies.
I was reading a story about that whole thing. They backed off of that 14-year-old limit, by the way. They just got so much pressure, they changed it to 18. But as part of the discussion, people had written some stories and stuff about, you know, the lowest age in America to get married at and this kind of stuff. I don't know if it's still legal, but I got the impression that it was still legal, that you can get married at 12 years old. You know,
Maybe
tell me who's ready for marriage at 12 years old. You know,
most people aren't even ready for it at 18.
I didn't even know about. I mean, like, I knew sex existed, but I wasn't very interested at 12 years old. I think I was playing football and stuff.
I didn't
know I liked anything, and I like everything, and I didn't know I liked anything at 12. You know,
I was starting to check out girls when I was 12. I was like, hey, I was
in chess club when I was 12.
Not me. I was out getting in trouble in the country.
Oh, I was president of the math club too.
I'm horrible at anything from algebra. Just can't.
I was like a certified nerd, but I was always like cool. So I was like, you know, the glue between the nerds and the cool people to like help the understanding.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking call us fucking nerds, dude. We're fucking cool. We do cool shit. Look, we can build robots and shit and program.
Wait, I like nerds. What's wrong with nerds?
Well, see, I never fit in with the nerds because they'd always be skeptical. Like, is she really smart? Like, you know. And I'd be like, "Yo, check this out," and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm interested, but I'm kind of scared of you now." You know.
When I was in high school, I was the bodyguard for the nerds. I'm the reason they didn't get their asses
kicked. I was like that too, like super protective. Like I'll fuck you up. Like don't.
Yeah, somebody start bullying them. Somebody start bullying. I'd walk up and go. What's going on? And they'd be like, nothing, and they'd walk away.
Yeah, don't mess with my little homie.
Don't fuck with my
I mean,
little
I get that to this day with other PhDs in other fields. I'll like literally be like, "Oh, I know that person that works at your school," and they'll be like, "How do you know them? They're fucking weird, nerdy." And I'm like, "I'm a biochemist. I also do molecular biophysics. It's okay."
Wow,
like,
I can't imagine your brain.
Like, you know,
that's a lot of intelligence.
I've dated people for things other than looks.
Well, if you're looking for intelligence, don't come over here because I have no degrees or anything. All I got is the streets and my entire life of shit to teach me. Oh, purple feels better.
Yay, purple!
Burp to derp.
I'm not necessarily feeling better. It just occurs to me that if I do it this way, I can close my eyes.
There you go. Close your eyes.
What is it?
Relax.
Like grapes?
Take a deep breath.
It's raspberry wheat beer.
Oh,
it's very raspberry.
It has the word beer, I'm not interested.
Sounds weedy.
It's raspberry. It's a raspberry lager. I'm sorry.
Lager.
And it's 6.7% alcohol. So
there you go.
It's like strawberries with a punch.
Like beer. Secondly, I'm
mean raspberries?
Of anything with raspberry flavor, because unless it's completely natural flavoring, the artificial raspberry always tastes weird.
It needs some orange.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Purple. But honestly, the smaller breweries and stuff, and like the local stuff, places that Dr. Cross and I were talking about buying our alcohol from, they use real shit. And a matter of fact,
Yeah, this is real raspberries. It's not flavored.
This
it's
Santa Fe
strong.
Brewing Company. This is real orange in here, and it is so
Well, in the case of
fucking
raspberries,
good. It's my favorite beer right now.
I've
real
had that
shit
one.
in the case of raspberries, real shit is actually something I'm concerned about. Because the most common artificial raspberry flavoring is the same chemical that is excreted from a skunk's anal gland.
Yes, anal gland flavoring and colors. There's lots of
Another
juices
reason
of
not
insects
to
that are
use
colored.
artificial flavorings.
They're natural. That's considered a natural flavoring. Because it comes out of a natural thing that occurs.
I don't want to see any
Yeah.
skunk
Well,
anus in my mouth.
They
I'm good.
Considered
synthesize it.
natural.
Yeah.
No,
They
it's not
synthesize it. I
natural.
don't think that
It's
they're actually trying to
disgusting.
harvest it from skunks.
Naturally disgusting.
Anything, as long as it comes from something biological, it's a natural flavoring now. And a natural coloring too. There's lots of insect juice they use to color things.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Dave. Dr. Cross has it all going on, right? She's got
Yeah, it's
obviously
smart. It's
she's got a
very
nice
smart.
body. She's attractive. She's intelligent. I mean, why would I not?
I'm
hit on her, right?
intimidating. I'm annoying. I talk too
You don't
much.
intimidate me. I talk way more than you. You can't keep up with me.
True. Considered. I'm not going to even
But if
touch
you-
that argument.
But if you say something serious, I shut the fuck up. So
This
I do
beer
do
is
that.
seriously strong.
the red used in some candy is derived from beetles. Is that
Yes.
true?
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
that's disgusting.
We don't even need to do it because beet juice makes a nice red. Like,
Yeah,
we
I was
don't
gonna
really
say,
need to
why
do
would you
these
even have to
things,
do
like,
that?
It's kind of gross.
It's disgusting.
It's the
Okay,
one
decided-
reason I will not
decided-
be on. No,
I
go ahead,
decided
Jenny.
to join you guys, so I'm going to have some alcohol now. I'm having Bailey's.
I'm not
Irish
even
Cream.
drinking.
Ooh, Bailey's.
I'm drinking coffee.
I do have a cup of wine
Let's see,
here.
what is this? 17%
Red or
alcohol.
white?
White.
Oh, mine's
Really?
not any kind of a proper wine.
Sorry.
It's the overly fruity stuff. So
I love wine.
It's
I like
actually
Oh, God.
it's
Mm.
actually a strawberry wine.
Oh, okay.
That brewery I was talking about earlier, they just released this beer called Balboa Blonde, and it's pomegranate strawberry. It's amazing. I'm gonna get a case soon.
Balboa
as soon as they
Blonde.
get it in stock. Yeah,
What does a case of beer cost these days?
I don't remember. We're getting it straight from the brewery, and I don't remember the price. I know their 15 packs are like $12. Direct from the brewery, though. So
What
it
I
might-
enjoy
think
is a
that's
good
a lot
hard
cheaper.
cider. But since I moved here, I haven't been able to find any place that sells any of the brands I like. The only ones I can find in the liquor store are brands that are crap.
Yeah,
Look for some local.
it's true. Yeah, I was just about to say that, Jenny. Great minds and all. Mage said biochemistry is an interesting subject.
I have, I'm like an interdisciplinary molecular science kind of person, but it's interesting, I guess. I mean, I know how weed and psychedelics work. That's kind of cool. The part that interests me is cognitive chemistry.
Yeah, somebody was asking earlier about what your degree is in.
Weed.
Somebody in the
my
side chat,
my
I forget.
PhD is in biochemistry, cell and molecular biology.
Ah.
So it's like a 3-way.
Oh. Well.
Well,
When I said I
hello.
was pan, I meant it.
So, Dr. Cross, who's your friend?
I like them all.
Yeah, I'm open to possibilities with anybody. That's why I say pansexual. I'm not really concerned about what gender they are, as long as they've got some other redeeming traits.
I call myself trisexual. I'll try it.
Try anything once.
Yeah, I'm old enough
If I
to
don't
pretty
like
much
it, I'll
have
just
tried
let you
all
know.
of it.
I'm sorry, Perp.
I'm old enough to have pretty much tried all of it by this time, so you'd be hard pressed coming up with anything that I haven't tried at some point.
Well, my problem is that I'm really like women are, I like women, you know, but I've had so many horrible relationships, and the best relationship I ever had in my life was with my ex-husband. Before I even came out as being a lesbian, never mind trans. So
I will verify though, I have really good relationships with hetero and bisexual men and trans men as well. But like men in general, I have a lot of male friends. The problem with me in dating men is it gets to a place is like, what's up, homie? Like they just kill the romance at some point. It's like I'm the homeboy. Like, yo, you want to watch football later? Like, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's what I was hoping for tonight. That's why I have my sexiest lingerie on. You dumbass.
I mean soccer.
Yeah, because
when I say guys football, I mean soccer.
Oh, real?
I don't date guys.
If you date women, that's not going to happen.
Exactly. But they don't want to keep me around because they're like, ew, you're so fucking girly. Ugh. I'm like, oh.
Girly is fine.
What the fuck?
I'm
just
all
date a
of
guy
those
then?
Because guys are easy too. You get 5 for $1. Like, come on.
Yeah, guys are easy, and you know, I generally just start out with guys with, you know, I'm just using you for sex, right? So they don't get any ideas that there's something more going on.
Look at my picture. I don't have a problem with girly.
Yeah, what's wrong with girly? I like girly.
It's the problem is I change with the days, so in the mood and the
pickle jars
weather.
for you. See, I'll open all the pickle jars for you. No
Oh,
problem.
I'm good with that though. See,
so you got a little bit of
God,
envy
those
in you.
smell good.
Because you know, girls got to open a pickle jar.
Honestly, if that's the only thing you want a man around for, I can give you a nice tool that's got a rubber strap on it that'll open any jar for you.
Shut up, Purple. Ruin
And
my
that's the
freaking
other thing.
groove.
Buy penises, so that's why men are cheap.
I am not cheap.
I know you're not. You're a trans man. That's a different league.
Thank you.
Differently.
Thank you. It's totally
not
different.
Easy. First
of
all.
Of course, B. You know, you're one that's intelligently designed. You're not just one that happened randomly by accident.
A random mutation.
You know what? I was not a random mutation. You're absolutely correct. I am made like this from a laboratory.
You were designed, sir.
Via testosterone.
Yeah. Trans people are on another level completely, so yeah. I'm just one of those like fluid people that people get confused by.
we are goddesses.
Yes. The most feminine women I know are trans women. They taught me everything about being feminine. Because I was not feminine for a long time.
That's funny. I remember growing up and my sisters and my friends trying to like put makeup on me and teach me how to walk more girly, and I was
Cis
like,
women are too forceful and weird about it.
I'm like, what do you mean I'm walking like? What do you mean I'm walking like a guy? I mean, that's just how I walked, you know. And they were like, oh no, you need to like, you know, point your toes forward and put your feet farther together and put your arms down by your side instead of like walking like, because I walk everywhere like this.
You need to go to a drag show and learn.
No, I'm good. I just realized I was born in the wrong body. That's all it was.
Sometimes I'm in the wrong body too, so I feel that. Sometimes I have on my 20-hole docs with the, you know, the weed whacker and goggles on, like, cutting down trees and shit. I'm like, what's masculine about this? I'm gardening.
Got a fucking weed whacker out there with a metal blade cutting down 5-inch trees.
We won't get into my toolbox.
I probably have.
Mine's always bigger than his toolbox. It's always bigger.
No, I got more tools than you, baby. Let me tell you how many tools I have. Like I have a garage area. I have like a garage area underneath of my bed, and so 3/4 of underneath of my bed all the way back to the back, which is an extra 2 or 3 feet, is just tools and shit. And I have more in the garage, and I have more in the back seat of my truck.
Yeah,
you can't. No woman can beat me with tools.
Yeah, because the auto tools go in the car. They go in my truck.
No, it's just whatever I use the most is in the back seat of my truck.
Do you fix your own car?
I do. I just fixed a
Really?
$600 problem in my,
What'd you
my
have?
2003 truck.
Nissan Sentra.
No, it's an Element. I moved up to an Element. And I actually got the Element because my brand new Prius was totaled by a drunk driver while it was parked. So I
Your
bought a
Prius
car for
was?
like, yeah, I had a brand new Prius on lease. Beautiful. And it was totaled sitting on the side of the road, right? So then I had to get a new car, and what cost like $5,000 that I could just buy a fucking old ass Element, right? I've
Why
been
not?
driving the shit out of that thing. It never breaks. And if it does, I can fix it. It's
Well,
fine.
so what did you just fix for $600?
Yeah.
The air conditioning fan.
You mean the blower?
Yeah, the
interior
blower.
blower?
The blower.
Okay.
The blower. It's like
Did you have to take apart the dash to get it, or you access from firewall or access from under dash?
Under dash.
Okay.
I have tiny hands, and it came in handy. Yeah, I have skinny little fingers.
I know a little bit about car fixing too.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. That's what I've always needed, is a partner who can fix the car. I can repair virtually anything in the house, but cars, no.
Now, I can't work past 2005 on a car, though, because they're all microchipped.
We're in luck. Mine's only 2002.
No, that's not true. That's just not true.
A lot of them.
Yes, they have lots of microchips in it, but all the mechanical stuff on a car is taken apart and put together the same way it always has been.
True. The belt.
You have issues with diagnostics, yes, but replacement and fixing the parts, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Well, the
diagnostics
diagnostics
are $600 for the blower. I was like, this car isn't worth $600.
Well, you bought it from the wrong place. Did you buy it from the dealer?
No, I bought it off of like auction. We have like these crazy auctions where they like take people's cars, I guess, that haven't paid their bills or whatever.
Oh yeah, and
you just buy them cash.
Oh, no.
So I only had $5,000 to spend.
You gotta. Oh, the car. I was talking about the fan. What'd you pay for the fan blower?
Oh, $30.
Oh,
in an afternoon of my time.
And they want to charge you $600 to do it.
Yeah, because it's LA, and you know.
Yep.
Well, and what? Because you're female? Because there's pink tax on anything to do with cars.
Fem tax, right? And I was like calling to see even, and I was like 580 was like the cheapest. I was like, no way. There's no way. I'm not spending that on this car. Like, no.
I have to do that on my car.
Right. Oh, that I've done it. I've YouTube shit to fix stuff on my truck.
Yeah.
I have to do that on my car, but since I don't have a garage to work in, I'm waiting for the weather to warm up.
Yeah.
But I need to replace the relay inside the blower because now it only works on the highest setting.
That's probably not a relay. It's probably the fan resistor. The blowers get different speeds based on the resistor, and if the resistor element fails, it's usually defaults to a full speed blow or nothing.
I was to understand the relay and the resistor are like a single integrated package in there.
Well, that may be.
Yeah. Those are expensive things to get fixed.
Yeah, at least it is something I've replaced on other cars, so I at least know what I'm doing with this one.
Yeah.
But
I need a new
resistor
in mine, and it's gonna. If I buy a new one, it'll be about $45. But I happen to have a parts car here, so.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the price for mine yet. I just know it's a pain in the ass to, get under the dashboard there and get the blower out.
Mm-hmm. I have a street name because of fixing things. My street name when I used to break dance was Gadget. Because I was always fixing things. It's the girl from the Rescue Rangers.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the girl
I tried
from
to do
the
a head
Rescue
spin and I
Rangers.
cracked.
Totally makes sense.
I tried to do a head spin and I cracked my neck funny, and it hurt for like weeks, and I never tried it again.
You probably pulled a neck muscle.
But man, all the other shit and backspin, and I could do that shit all day. Yeah, that's pretty good at it.
Yeah, it's so. I was just like one of those kids in the hood that could fix everybody's shit, and hustle. And I could dance, so I paid for college.
There you go.
I used to run a car shop.
Yes, she
Oh,
did.
nice.
She
There's
also
David
wrote an
Schroeder's
entire
stuff.
manual how to disassemble and assemble a BMW.
Nice.
She wrote it herself. Yeah.
There was
Jenny's
a trans women's car shop that opened here in LA right before the pandemic. I'm trying to find out what happened to it.
Sorry, buddy. I hate
Well,
sinus
that would be
infections.
neat.
Yeah, and there was another queer space for like car fixing that had opened, but this was all right before the pandemic, and a car wash that trans women had opened.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm trying to find out some of these small businesses what happened to them.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're still
Yeah,
around.
a lot
I
of-
need a car wash.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of shit around here that was mom and pop owned. That
I don't know.
I guess
trans car wash.
I shouldn't say quite a bit, but there's quite a handful of businesses here that were mom and pop that shut down because of COVID. They couldn't survive it. So
I'd be a little concerned about a trans car wash. You never know what they're going to do when you get around that shift or not.
Whatever they do, I'm gonna like it probably. So.
Nice.
But what you were saying, I think that's going to be the real tragedy of the pandemic. Is that we're
really
losing
is.
most of the mom and pop and family-owned businesses, and it's just giving more and more of the market to the big corporate chains.
Amazon.
Yep, that's exactly why. I mean, there's no mom and pop grocery stores around here, or I would buy local for a grocery store. But there is the grocery stores around here do have a lot of local produce, so I don't mind buying it from them. But everything else, like even like when I go to buy pot, I buy it at a local place.
Yeah,
it's not a
what's your
chain.
favorite
They
thing
have
to fix on a
one
car?
location. Mine?
No, not you. I'm not talking to you.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Jenny.
Oh my God, Mage.
I would want to talk to her too. It's
too.
fine. Go ahead, Dr. Cross.
Mage, me too. Okay, so my nickname did come from the Rescue Rangers. I don't know if anyone is in the age range to remember Chippendale's Rescue Rangers.
I do.
She was like a possum. So they're coming out with a new Rescue Rangers movie, and I'm so afraid they're gonna mess her up because, like, I loved her. She was like smart, sexy. Her friends were dumb. Like this.
I thought she was just a mouse.
Was she a mouse?
Yeah.
She was so much bigger than the boys, though. Like I was.
Maybe she was a rat.
She was taller. I think she was a rat, maybe. I thought she was a possum. Maybe not. Maybe Monty was a possum. Because he was big. Monty.
I thought Monty was a rat, but...
Yeah, he was maybe... So Monty was a rat. Maybe she was a mouse then. Either way, I have buck teeth. It makes sense.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I've always had chiclet teeth, so
No.
my head was like when I was smaller, they looked bigger. So.
Did they?
I didn't know that they were trying
to grow into your teeth.
I didn't know they were trying to do a movie of Rescue Rangers, though.
Yes,
I didn't know that either.
I'm scared because they've been messing up some things. I hope they don't do it live action like they did to Cats. That was freaky. I like Cats, but I did not like the movie thing they did.
That's interesting, Aaron. If you want to talk any more about that, please do. Like, if you want to disclose the disorder. If you do not, just tell me to fuck off. It's fine.
Yeah, I've been seeing an ENT again, trying to sort out what's the problem with my sinuses. Because they told me I don't have any allergies, but I have all the symptoms of allergies.
Same. I've seen all these episodes.
I'm allergic to cats a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to
so I just take an allergy pill every night. It doesn't bother me.
Well, that's what I told the allergist when they're running the test, was if they could tell me I was allergic to cats and sawdust, that would explain everything. You know, because there never goes 24 hours that I'm not around both of those.
I've never been tested. I just know that's what it is. When I was in the truck, I didn't have a bunch of sinus problems. When I had no pet, it was only when I have cats.
Well, sometimes your body will react to just particulates in the air. So, like, cats have dander. I'm allergic to cats, but I have cats, so I'm used to them. Unless they get in my face, like, I don't. But dander is a particulate, and sawdust is a particulate. So, if you're not wearing a mask around sawdust, especially, you can get, like, inflammation and irritation in the respiratory system just because of the particles.
Yep.
And you'll get allergy symptoms because mucus will start coming. It's just like your body reacting to push out the particles. like a flush.
Well, one of the things the ENT recently told me about that is a little scary is said that some people are actually colonizers, that they carry around bacteria colonies in their sinuses pretty much their whole life. And I'm like, so you're telling me I've had a sinus infection for the past 50 odd years?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't
Sounds
make
like
sense.
allergies to me.
It really doesn't make sense if in the last 50 years you've had some form of antibiotic for something.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That
That could kill it.
Yeah. I've
Even if
gone
it's drug
through some
resistant.
antibiotics, periodically, but
Well,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
need what
everybody
you need
ends
to
up
do,
on 'em
purpose. Get
eventually.
some ivermectin and spray it up your nose into your sinuses.
Yes.
And stuff.
And then gargle with peroxide, and you
Yeah,
won't get
that'll
COVID.
take
Douche
care
with
of all of it.
bleach.
And douche with bleach. And what was the other one, you guys? I
We're
can't remember.
kidding.
Oh,
Well,
shoot
I-
some bleach into your veins. We can
medical
do that,
advice.
right? We can just shoot bleach in the veins, right?
I
That
don't
was
know
my
about
favorite line in the
ivermectin, but
world.
the ENT has me snorting saline with xylitol. And if you don't know what that is, xylitol is actually an artificial sweetener. So what the purpose is of shooting this up my nose, I don't really understand. But
If it's helping, just do it.
You mean like with a neti pot or something, or a,
No, it's one of those.
an
Yeah.
aerosol?
just a little squeeze bottle.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, aerosol.
But well, I agreed to try it for 2 weeks to see if it makes a difference. So that's what I'm at now.
Look, Dr. Cross, I feel like you can relate to Mage again. Yes, Mage, don't forget to drink your pee and ivermectin with radiation. Make sure you do the radiation with it, and make sure it's that ultraviolet light on your balls.
Oh, wow.
That's how you
I
get
found
that
out
in there.
why xylitol is in your nasal spray. It's because
close up.
it's good with grapeseed extract for your sinuses, apparently.
Really?
2020 publication in, I forgot what journal. Anyways, I was like, why would you put xylitol in nasal spray? And they're like, it enhances the action of the nasal spray or something. I was like, I didn't know that.
Okay. There you go. And it tastes great. Less filling.
I know. I mean, if it drips on the back of your throat, I imagine it tastes better because you do have taste receptors back into your throat. So
I have a lowered levels of enzymes that remove cellular waste from most cells in the body. I get treatments, but they're not fully effective, plus degenerative disc disease. Wow. Damn, bro. That sucks.
Wow.
Oh,
man.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Too. Wow. It's interesting.
Well, for that, I would think that Drano could be effective.
Find a starter study on this. I get them. So, okay. I guess I'm not medically sound enough to know how that relates to your disorder with the sinus infections, but maybe Dr. Cross does.
Some people have messed up bones, like in their noses. It goes into your orthodontics, like in here and like in here,
Okay.
Right in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard some things about orthodontics and sinus infections because I've always had sinus infections, but I have allergies, so.
Right.
I'm allergic to anything dusty, furry.
Me too.
Anything.
Dusty, furry, yes. Dust blowing in the wind,
I'm allergic to myself. Sometimes
He's your dusty
random dermatitis, just a rash, just because. Yeah, good measure.
Well, I'm getting pretty furry, so I don't know if you might be allergic to me.
Well, that's
God, all you people are so weak. Jeez.
It's also why I'm still not buying the thing about not having allergies, because it definitely kicks up when the leaf mold is blowing around.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm allergic to is Republicans.
Nice.
Bad politics.
Lucky you.
Yes.
They're also on my list, but above the mold and dust. And
I'd prefer mold to Republican any day.
Me too. You can clean that. She can spray with bleach. It's gone. So I'm gonna start going around with a scrub brush and a bottle of like Clorox cleanup, start spraying all the Republicans. Damn it! I was hoping it would get rid of you.
During the pandemic, we used to get mad that people weren't wearing masks places.
Right.
And we came up with a solution. Every time we saw someone without a mask, we'd rush past them in front of them because we didn't want to be behind them, right? Just the mask, you know? And we'd fart really loud. Just fart.
Wish you had a mask on now, don't you, bastard? Go ahead. Eat my poop moisture molecules.
Because it was so strict here in LA and California. Like, people that didn't wear masks were doing it on purpose. They were walking in with masks, taking them off. Like, they were doing all this on purpose. So we just started fart bombing.
You know, that's fucked up. I'm sitting there laughing about that. And I swear to God, my cat just jumped on the entertainment center in front of me, walked by me, and she fucking farted just now. That was horrible. That was fucking horrible.
Farting on elevators is fun.
And I've been blaming it on the mail this whole time. I might need to blame it on her, maybe.
Yeah.
That was nasty, girl. Jesus. Cut back on those cat treats. Not for me, the cat. What do you
I have a cat that says milk. She asks for milk by name. She goes, milk. It's really freaky.
Mage. Hold on, I'm going to use this moment to brag. Mage, I've actually been shaving for a couple months now. And I decided to just let it go on the side, so it's starting to grow in here. And it's kind of funny because it grows in like almost exactly like this line. Like it's neat, you know what I mean? So that's good. Anyways, I have been, I actually, honestly, you guys are going to scream. I dry shave. And then I put on some good lotion. I actually just got this today. Because I don't know, because beeswax and stuff is supposed to be good for your skin but this is a post-shave healing balm, so it moisturizes and gets rid of the burn. So I just dry shave and then I just put stuff on like this. But I had to order another one because I left the other one, which was really good. It was by Power Stick. It was extremely moisturizing and cheap as hell, and it's a gel aftershave lotion.
What's your
a lotion?
Dry shaving. Why do you?
And you can leave it on. I don't know. I just dry shave. I've been doing it for years. My face has always been fuzzy, but it was blonde before. Now it's coming in black. Thank God. So I've been shaving since I was like 16. I've been shaving my face. 17 years old.
Oh God, you started before I did.
I mean, literally, it's because I'm Italian and I had all this fucking hair on my face. And then I used to leave the sides because I was afraid if I shaved this off, it would come in dark. So I left my sideburns for a long time. And then I was dating this chick and she knew how to cut hair. And she goes, I'm going to teach you how to cut my hair. You can cut my hair. I'll cut yours. I was like, cool. Why not? Save some fucking money, right? So she cut my hair and she took the clippers and she went, zzz, and I went, oh, why'd you do that? And she goes, babe, it was like 2.5 inches long. But it really was like my hair on the side of my face was long, but it was blonde. So, yeah, so then I just started shaving it off all the time. And it never came in dark until I started testosterone. Now it's dark.
Shaving is awful. It's just awful.
It doesn't bother me. I used to dry shave my legs. I don't fucking care. Just put on some lotion afterwards. Who the fuck cares? I was in the army and I've been out camping and now I don't have to shave my legs anymore. And they're getting nice and hairy. Anyways, not the point. But I would just dry shave and put lotion on. It's fine. I've been doing that for like 30 some odd years now.
It's crazy.
So glad I don't have to shave my legs anymore. You know what guys told me? These are cishet guys, right? Oh, you're going to get sick of shaving your face. I said, bro, I, for the last 35 years, have wanted facial hair. To me, it's fun. Like when you were 16. Second of all, I used to shave these really long legs every fucking day because I'm Italian. Every other day at the least to keep them from being not stubbly and having black hair sticking out on my legs. So, fuck you. You're shaving this. I've shaved these fucking long ass, and I have more legs than I'm all legs. Don't have a huge torso. I'm all legs. So I've been shaving these long ass legs my entire fucking life. So you're gonna tell me I don't want to shave this? This is nothing, motherfucker. Spoiled man. They don't know.
Yeah, I just need somebody to give me $7,000 for electrolysis.
Right. Well, it'll keep.
This is again why, if I could have started transitioning in my 20s would have been great, because I didn't have any facial hair until I was in my early 30s.
Oh, wow, Perps. I mean, I knew you have trouble growing hair. Oh, my God. My brother, my family's so hairy. My brother, because he looks Italian-Irish. He's got red hair. Well, he used to have red hair. He's white now. He used to have bright red hair. And by the time he was 15 years old, he had a full fucking mustache, hair on his chest, like this long, dark red hair on his chest, hair starting to grow on his back by the time he was 19. This guy walked into a bar at 16 years old. They didn't even card him.
I had a weird puberty.
$2, sir. Here's your beer.
Yeah, I had a weird puberty that started normally when I was about 15 or 16.
Uh-huh.
And then stalled halfway through and didn't finish until I was about 33.
That's strange, huh? Interesting, though.
But yeah, until I was in my early 30s, I didn't have any facial hair. I didn't have any body hair.
And you're not native?
No. Nope, half Finnish, half Polish.
I don't know if the Finnish and Polish are known to be hairy people, though. I have no idea.
Yeah, the Polish.
I knew a bunch of Polish people when I was younger. Oh yeah, that's right. The old men were hairy as hell.
Yeah, the Polish tend to have thick, dark beards.
Yeah, we had this guy named Mr. Paluski. No, there was a Paluski, a Pulowski, I think it was Paluski, Mr. Paluski. He collected Polak jokes. He was the funniest Polish man I have ever met in my life. He was fucking hilarious. He had like thick ass hair and like, he was like hairy everywhere. He was a hairy fucker. But he was just the funniest guy. And he'd go, hey, heard any Polak jokes lately? And I'd be like, no, Mr. Paluski, I haven't heard any. He's like, all right, you let me know, kid. I'm collecting those. Like, he loved Polak jokes. He thought they were hilarious. He would walk up to you and be like, hey, you want to hear a joke? And he'd tell a joke on his own people. He was the coolest guy in the fucking world. And then there was another one that was Mr. Pulowski. There was a Paluski and a Pulowski. Spelled a little different, but not much. Mr. Pulowski, he had throat cancer. And he had one of those things. Do you remember, Dr. Cross, when they used to stick those things on their vocal cords?
Oh, we still do.
To vibrate them. Do they still use those? I haven't seen one of those in years.
They're just like, they sound better now. So they sound a lot less robotic.
They don't sound so robotic, yeah.
Right.
And he'd be like,
weird, but
he'd be like, hey, kid, how are you? What's going on? Heard any good jokes lately? Like, it was weird, but he was the nicest fucking dude. Both of those old men were the nicest people I met when I was fucking kid. They were just amazing people. They were sweet and kind, and they'd do anything for anybody.
When I was like in kindergarten, kindergarten through third grade, my best friend was Polish.
Oh yeah.
And her parents were like from Poland, and her grandma still had tattoos from the Holocaust. Like,
oh, yeah. I grew up in Milwaukee. Everybody I've ever known in my life is Polish.
Yeah, so we were friends. My parents killed Nazis on domestic soil, so we were friends. Lovely. Like, my parents killed Nazis. Oh my god, we have so much in common.
You hate Nazis? My parents killed some. We're perfect.
We're perfect for each other.
Hey, my
I grew up in a very multicultural neighborhood. They were like,
my family did too.
Also, my other best friend was Brian, and his parents, they were like British immigrants. And then my other best friend was black, and his parents, they were Jehovah's Witnesses, so we couldn't even like be happy on his birthday and shit. And we were like, no, but happy birthday. And he's like, no, you can't say that, it's like offensive and lecture us and stuff. And we're like,
which is crazy. Who cares about
you? Can't have our cupcake.
Who cares? It's so stupid. I used to know some J-dubs.
Yeah, there was a lot of J-dubs out there. They're like, because they started outreaching to like the black community at some point. And
did they?
interracial relationships became like something they did. I think they put everyone in their book before the Mormons did. So
like anything to get people to fall for this shit. We encourage interracial dating. What? Okay.
Especially in a neighborhood full of
God.
interracial couples. Yeah.
It's a fucking cult.
Yeah. Yeah, Mormons and JWs are at the top of the list for
and Scientologists and Lutherans and Catholics. And
I'm in LA. I know the evils of the S's. We'll just say, I can't say it out loud. They're listening.
Your exes are listening?
The S's. The S's.
Oh, I thought you said
because I'm in the
like,
heart of it.
Stalker.
I'm scared of those people. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
The S's?
Yes.
The Sologists.
No,
I don't even say the name.
No, they are fucking nuts.
The people
Tom
with the blue
Cruise is
curbs.
certifiably fucking nuts.
Like half of Hollywood is blue curbs because of them.
When I lived in New York, one of our landlords was Austrian and was very evasive about which side her father fought for in World War II.
That's scary.
Wow. Well, I could tell you both sides of my family, mom and dad's side, going from grandparents as far back as I could find, there's always been somebody in the military. Both sides of my family.
Yeah, same.
And my grandfather during WW DOS, he was on the battleship, the guy with the gun shooting down the fucking planes.
Mm-hmm.
That was my grandfather. He shot down planes for like 3 or 4 years during the fucking war. And he came back deaf as fuck. He couldn't hear shit because of that fucking gun. He spent so much time on that turret. I can't even tell you. He became an officer after that, but and actually he was an officer when he was on that turret for some reason. I don't remember why, but anyways, maybe they just needed him.
Yeah, I
think he was lieutenant during 2.
My father was in the U.S. infantry in France from 42 to 46. And that town has a museum to his division because they repelled several attempts by the German army to take the town.
No shit. Nice.
My dad was a grunt, a private Marine Corps. And his squad's job was to go around to bars in LA, or not LA. What's the base in San Diego?
San Diego, yeah.
Or
Oceanside.
Yeah,
Oceanside.
And when the ships would come in and the sailors would have liberty, it was their job to go around to bars and beat up the sailors.
Okay.
There's still a lot of bar fights between like military people in San Diego, so that's kind of funny. So my family's all Air Force, so I'm kind of bougie.
It's because that's always going to happen with military.
Air Force.
Yeah, that's always going to happen with military people because they have so much pent up anger and stress, and they have no way to release it.
Yeah,
and there's constantly someone on your ass, and you got to do everything perfect and to the T, and like it's like being like an office assistant for a really huge corporation right underneath the main boss, but 10 times worse. Because
you live there too.
Yeah, but you live there. Exactly. It's 24/7 of hell, let me tell you.
And they know what your toothbrush looks like. So
so forever there will be angry men and women going to bars that are in the military and fighting. It's just gonna happen. It's the only release they have.
My sister and
they
I
get like an hour
day.
or 2 hours or 2 days or 1 day of shore leave or off time when you're in the army, and okay, you're free this weekend, go do whatever you want. You go to the fucking bar. That's what you do.
And you go crazy because you haven't done
shit go crazy
for a while.
Yep, you can actually just be whatever you want to be instead of fucking all day long. Sir, I'm a fucking robot.
Yeah, we ended the legacy in my family with me and my sister. Neither of us were like going to the Air Force. And I love planes. That's how they got the nickname Gadget, is like, oh, perfect. Like, I love airplanes and stuff, but like more in a scientific way, not like a get up in the 4 a.m. kind of way.
I don't necessarily want to be the pilot that has to go through all that hell and training and gets yelled at all the time and has
Maybe
to
I'll design a plane.
But planes are cool.
How do you feel about rocket ships and stuff like that?
I wanted to be an astronaut at some point, I'm sure. I love Nova. Right? I grew up on Nova, which made me want to go to Johns Hopkins for astronomy, but then it turned into Hopkins Medical School, but it's the same thing.
well,
I was like a science kid, like all through and through.
That's awesome.
My favorite uncle was in the Air Force, and he fed my addiction to airplanes and rockets. And I used to have the specs, performance specs on every rocket that the United States produced. All of them, their thrust, their height, their altitude, their ceiling, all their operational parameters. It was quite an addiction.
I was so into like probes and satellites when I was a kid. I used to make them out of like not trash, but like stuff around the house. So I had all these like Q-tip satellites that I made as a kid out of like Q-tips and wax paper and stuff. Like
I used to make flying saucers out of 2 paper plates.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have been your friend.
You gotta color it too. Make it look like a flying saucer.
I was the same as a kid. We were always broke, so I had to make my own toys out of the trash.
I mean, we were poor too. That's what we did.
Any kind of odd-shaped bottle or anything, I would save, and I'd make it into a rocket ship or something.
Popsicle sticks, toothpicks. I mean, well, my parents were alcoholics, so we got the like long toothpick things out of the drinks.
Yeah, that's called a swizzle stick to stir a drink with. Those are not toothpicks.
Swizzle stick.
So when we did our toothpick projects at home, we had to break them all in half. It's funny to me because my dad was a fucking alky, but he was a beer alky.
My drunken father would break our projects enough. Thank you. Leading to a night of disappointment and tears. Do better, he said.
Do better? Oh my god, you drunk bastard. I just put fucking 3 days of work into that fucking shit.
I'm only 7, I cried back.
I'm 5 years old, god damn it.
Yep.
I laugh, but I'm not joking.
You know what my dad did with me is I was his beer getter when I was a toddler. As soon as I learned to start walking. Absolutely, and then once I was kind of cognitive and started talking, he'd go, "You go get daddy a beer, I'll give you a sip." And I was like, oh my God, he's paying attention to me. So I'd go in there and get that fucking beer every time for him. And he'd give me a sip and I'd go, ugh, thanks, Dad. And I'd walk away, Dad,
but it was attention.
He paid attention to me. Yeah, that's all it really was. I just didn't realize it back then because, I was like 2. So he did this for me for a few years. And when I hit 4 years old, and I totally remember doing this, and this is the last time he ever asked me to get his beer for him. So our kitchen was like galley style, right? It was like really long. So there was a long counter on one side and had the sink and the stove and the refrigerator and everything on that right side. And then there was a big ass dining room table in the middle. So the fridge is right there, right inside the kitchen. I mean, it's literally like 5 feet away from the lazy fucking bastard, right? And he just wouldn't get up to get his own goddamn beer. And so he kept asking me, and I didn't really want to drink the beer anymore, or I just got fed up with it. I don't know.
What kind of beer did your dad drink, though?
Stroh's with the old pull top.
Oh, wow.
People used to cut their lips on it. That's how old I am.
I didn't think it could be worse than my dad drank Coors.
Oh, no. Stroh's, baby. The really nasty
He drank Coors
shit.
and rum. He mixed it with rum. What the fuck?
Oh, no. My dad just drank beer all day. He would drink a whole pot of coffee first thing in the morning. And then by like 10 or 11, he was like, my pot of coffee's done. I'm ready for beer. Yeah.
Right.
That was my
After
dad.
the coffee is beer.
Yeah. He got fired from a couple of jobs because he was drunk. But he was wiring ambulances and they were correct. And he was like, let me keep my job. You can't find anything wrong with my work. And they said, nope.
Oh. Well,
but he did excellent work even when he was drunk. But anyway, so
my dad was building actual airplanes for Bendix and Lockheed Martin back in the day. Pretty shit-faced or hungover, usually.
Yeah,
in
my dad
research
was.
division.
Oh, there's Jenny's back. Hold on.
My dad was a
Yeah,
functional
so-
alcoholic too.
Yeah.
So let me finish the story real quick, and then you guys can go on about the functional alcoholic shit. Boy, my good dad was a fucking piece of shit. I'll tell you how he died eventually here in a minute. It's really fucking funny, like scum of the earth. Anyway, so so I walked up and I opened the fridge door, you know, and the beer was like right there in the bottom shelf or in the door or something. I don't remember. And so he can't see me. All he can see is my legs because I have the door open. And I grabbed the beer and I looked at my mother and she looked at me and I shook it. And she went back to cutting vegetables for dinner. And she didn't say a word because she hated that he drank. Yeah. So I walk in there, I hand it to him, and he's like, "You want a sip?" I was like, "No, thanks, Daddy." And I giggle and I run into my sister's room because I knew my ass was going to get beat. I fucking knew it. And I was like, I don't care. Fuck it. I'll take a chance. So he opens it and you hear, "Psh, God damn it, Eileen! That kid shook my fucking beer." And my mom goes, "Oh, Walt, I'm sure she didn't mean to do it. She might have just dropped it or something." He never asked me to bring him a beer again. Never again. My dad died in Tijuana, where he escaped the U.S. Because he was running from the IRS. Mm. He got a hold of my brother's Social Security number that was exactly the same as his and tried to use it. And it took my brother 7 years to get that shit cleared up. Wow. With the IRS and everybody else that he used his Social Security number for. And when he died, he was held up with like an 18 or 19-year-old girl in fucking Tijuana, living in some fucking shithole fucking dump slum. I don't even fucking know. Wow. Yeah. 18-year-old Mexican chick. Mm. Oh, he died, and when he died, I was 37. No, sorry, 35. It's 34 when he died. His youngest was 34. He was 30 when I was born. Sick fucker. So, yeah. Also racist. On top of everything else. Yeah, he was a fucked up bastard. Although he had one reason for it. Well, two. One, his family was racist and from Chicago, so that's where he got that from. And the rest of it, the alcoholism and everything else, and the women abusing. He was a Navy SEAL during Vietnam, and he came back fucked up.
Yeah.
He came back.
My dad was a Vietnam vet. He was real fucked up. His plane crashed in Vietnam. And he talked about like having to kill children and shit like that. It was really crazy. Yeah. So he had PTSD. Yeah. He was fucking crazy.
So did my dad. Yeah.
The one thing he wasn't, he's a fucking misogynist too, but he wasn't a homophobe, which is weird. He even had, like, my awareness of gender came from my father calling me Hank as a kid because I acted like a little boy a lot. And he would call me Hank.
Like, all right, Hank. That's funny.
All right, Hank. We go fishing. I'd be like, look at this big fish I got. All right, Hank. And I'm like, all right, Daddy. You know, but yeah, he was a total. My dad was a total functional alcoholic. Like, I don't drink more than 2 drinks in a sitting because of him, because I know I could just be totally normal and be a totally like shit faced all day. So
yeah,
I'm not allowed more than 3 drinks on a special occasion. I'm also Native American, and it hits me a little harder with the weed and everything. You know?
Really? Yeah.
It really does.
Oh, I'm a lightweight. If you give me weed and alcohol, I'm fucking. I
mean, I'm fine for a few drinks, but then after that, I'm tired. I'm even getting tired today. And
my dad only
someone that cares about you and wants to make love to you.
My dad only beat me up
I had to say something,
which was most of the time.
I'm sorry, Jenny. I only caught part of that.
No, never mind. Forget it.
We overlapped.
I heard you.
No, but only part of the time. What was only part of the time?
Never mind.
Jenny, God
I started talking when there was clear space. Nobody was talking, and you came right over me. So I'm not going to go back into it. That's it.
You're shit. Okay. Whichever, sunshine.
Jenny needs hugs. Yeah, my dad was an alcoholic, but he just went straight for whiskey. But he drank so much of it that when I was a teenager, I used to siphon it off into baby food jars, and he never even noticed.
Yeah. I remember my mom bought a big bottle of vodka one time, and she'd like randomly make like one screwdriver for herself. And me and my brothers, it was their idea, I swear to God. We took like, I don't even know, like 2/3 of what was left in the bottle. It was a big bottle. And by the way, I was part of this crime, but I never benefited from the crime. I never got to drink any. So they poured it into like a mason jar and put a lid on it and poured water in it. A week and a half later, Mom found out. Could have sworn I put a whole shot in this. Why is my vodka weak? And then we hear from the kitchen, boys, front and center.
Yeah, no, you never mess with the stuff that you leave in the bottle.
Yeah, we shouldn't have. No, they shouldn't have. They should just skimmed a little off the top at a time. She never would have known.
Yeah,
but I
well,
also learned from my mother a little trick. And if you want to keep track of who's drinking what, you got roommates, dry erase marker on the container. Underneath the handle's preferred, so people don't notice it.
I haven't had roommates since I was 19.
I had my kid as a roommate twice in the last couple of years.
Yeah, you young kids.
Kind of helping each other out.
I don't think dry erase markers existed until I was like 35 or 40.
Right. I didn't have roommates then. I'm so sunburned. I can't believe I look like a shrimp.
See, but you don't look that red to us because this is the first time we've seen you.
Well,
but your eyes stand out really nice.
Yeah,
I didn't know if that was really you or if it was just that the color on your camera was off.
No, I have a light on just to have a light on. I'm like, I look so red. I'm actually really red though. I've been in the garden lately these last few days. So I'm excited. Planting corn and squash and stuff. So it's been nice.
Squash?
I have a Mexican squash. I forgot what it's called. And then I got some zucchini. Because you need zucchini.
Why?
And then I have... Huh? Why? Zucchini?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it because it's meaty. So I like a lot of squashes.
I love zucchini. Oh my
I just
God.
eat squash like sauteed in butter and herbs.
Fuck yeah.
I like squash. I love acorn squash.
Pepper.
I cannot find any justification for zucchini. I cannot find anything you can put it in that it tastes acceptable.
I'll have you know.
Fry it.
Purple, I'll have you know. Yes, you can batter it and fry it like you would green tomatoes. Really good like that. You can also batter it and fry it, and you cut the chunks bigger, like you would with like eggplant, like 3/4
Also,
inch chunks.
if you let zucchini just
slices
grow,
and yes, Jenny.
Never mind. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying. I'll
you
try
can
to
batter
get
them and fry them and throw them into like a casserole, like you would with eggplant.
Yeah.
Now I'm done.
I want to hear Jenny's recipe.
It's not a recipe. It's just a practical use for zucchini. What you do is you let them grow too long, and then you can make them into like sandals for the beach.
That's about the best use for them I've ever heard. But,
I make them like French fries, like a battered zucchini fry.
I've had them that way. If you go to the Minnesota State Fair, you will find every possible thing that can even tangentially be described as a food source, battered and deep fried.
Deep fried butter.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Seriously. That shit had to start in Texas or Oklahoma, right? Who the fuck would come up with that shit?
I dated this hot scientist from fucking Wisconsin, and he had me eat cheese curds, and I was like, "Is this fried fat?"
No,
No, cheese curds are great. Did you have? Did
Cheese
they
curds are
squeak?
delicious.
Did they squeak?
Yes, there was
Yeah.
weird.
Okay. Well, then they're really fresh too.
They're really good. Then they're fresh. Yeah, she's right.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, what is this? Is this fried butter?"
I love cheese curds. Every time I drove up,
California.
every time I drove up through like Wisconsin, Minnesota area, I would always stop at the truck stop and grab like a couple bags of the cheese curds because oh my god, you can't get them everywhere. And they're so
You can deep fry them like mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
The lactose intolerance kicks in.
Well,
Me too. It's all right. We'll fart together.
A lot of lactose in those.
Until fairly recent years, the cheese curds used to be just a seasonal thing that you would only find them during the state fair time.
Yeah.
You know, that you wouldn't be able to buy them all year.
Yep.
Oh, you had to grow up in Wisconsin. You could get them all the year forever.
Oh, yeah.
You
can get them around
you can get 'em at
Chicago
the gas
too, because you can get them around Chicago at the truck stops too, because they bring them down from Wisconsin.
No, because
I get them in Illinois, anywhere. I think all the way in Illinois, Minnesota. I mean Wisconsin, and then over to God, I can't think of what the other state was, but there's a little area there that all the truck stops and gas stations came.
Iowa.
Again, you're young, so what I consider, when I was growing up. But yeah, I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and Sloth Girl grew up in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We're not able to get them.
Huh.
Okay, so I have a question for all you cheese curds fans. Poutine, yes or no? Poutine.
Oh, poutine. Yeah, I do poutine in a second. You bet.
I'm not sure what that is.
I was so disappointed by poutine in Montreal.
Are you talking about the corn mash?
No.
The fries with the gravy and the cheese curds.
Oh,
I haven't had it,
like
so I'm not sure what kind of
fries.
gravy they use on it.
Yeah. It was disappointing because I was kind of like, well, maybe the cheese curds will be really good with the gravy and the fries. But I had a lot of good Indian food in Montreal, so I was happy. I had really good Indian food, man. Oh, dosas.
Really?
Oh, really good
I
dosas.
love Indian food. Love Indian
and good
food.
Thai food. There's like good everybody food.
I love Thai food too.
I mean, maybe that's why I was disappointed by the poutine too. I feel like it was up against some competition.
Oh well, if you're going up against some, no, they can't compete with that with poutine. No.
Yeah.
No. I forgot that's what it was, but I've seen it before, but I just.
I'm part French. I really like French cuisine usually. So.
I'm just really picky about like gravy with fries. It's got to be the gravy's got to be like really good homemade gravy.
Well, that's what I mean. It depends on the gravy that's involved.
It's just brown gravy.
Yeah.
Just basic brown.
It's which I don't mind, but
yeah, you can get the powder at like Walmart and stuff like that.
The powder gravy. I like anything on a potato. I mean, potatoes are delicious. So any kind of potato too. I'll eat
loaded potatoes. No.
Oh yeah.
Cheese curds go good on potatoes.
Oh, now See, maybe I just need the cheese curds directly on the potato because they're kind of like buttery to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, and then toasted or something. I don't know.
They're a byproduct.
Melt the curds a little bit.
They don't make cheese curds. Cheese curds are a byproduct of making cheese.
Yeah, they are.
When you make cheese, you get curds and whey, and the whey goes in becomes like for salting the roads and stuff. And the curds go for eating.
There you go.
Little Miss Muffet sat in her tuffet eating the curds and whey. That's good food.
Potatoes.
There you go. I like it. I'll shovel for people if they feed me. You feed me, I'll do all kinds of stuff. Especially if it's like meat. There's meat involved.
I love butternut squash though in the comments. I make soup and pies. I love butternut squash. It's good.
I used to make a winter squash dish. It was just basically butternut and acorn, red onions, chunks of red onions. That's what I put in there. Give me some more squashy stuff.
Oh, I love acorn squash. Just cut it in half, take the seeds out, and bake it just like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But anyway, so I clean it all up and chop them all into bite-sized hunks, and toss them in olive oil with rosemary, thyme, and sage, salt and pepper, and then bake it. So fucking good together. So good. Yeah.
I make a whole wild squash stew.
Do you like men that cook? A wild squash soup. I've never been into making soups for some reason.
I love spicy, like Native American, meaning like from Canada to like the tip of South America, American spicy soups. I like Asian spicy soups too, but my preference is continental. Like all of them are good. Pozole, you like boil, like whatever soup.
No, I can agree that I love soups. Soup. I just never got into making them.
No, I like making all sorts of soup in a crock pot where you let simmer for 6 or 8 hours.
Yeah, caramelized.
Lentil soup.
Ooh, lentil soup.
I like making chilies and stuff, like thick stews and chilies.
I can do I like them thick. So when I make my squash soup, it's thick, and I put potatoes in it. And I like hearty.
So it thickens it. Yeah.
Split pea with ham is one of my few positive associations with my father.
See, I tried to make split pea, but it comes out. You put it across the knife, it splits it, but then it all ends up in the same bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, Jenny.
Never mind.
Oh, Jenny, go back to your corner, honey.
That was disgusting.
I like Bee's idea of like sauteing the squash. I'd probably put that on a baguette though, like a vegan sandwich.
Maybe that's kind of the point of split pea soup. If you're an alcoholic, it looks the same no matter how many times it's gone in and out again.
Oh, purple.
Well, you can only rank beer
with you.
No, I mean, if you're throwing up split pea soup, it doesn't look any different than how it did when it was fresh.
I used to love split pea soup. I used to love split pea soup, but we had a garden and we had oh man, it was all homemade shit. Except for the ham. My mom didn't have any way to create a ham and cure it, so she would buy the ham. But everything else she made was all homemade shit, and that split pea soup was the best.
Somebody in the comments brought up gumbo. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Gumbo. Oh my God.
See, but I don't like I don't like the
I'm for sale for gumbo.
What are the things? Okra. I don't like okra.
Yeah.
I don't like okra, but I like the rest of gumbo.
Why do people not like okra? Is it the slimy?
It's just slimy to me.
Have you had pickled okra?
It means you don't know how to fix it.
No, and I haven't had fried because somebody told me I should try fried okra.
Hot pickled okra and fried okra are delicious. No.
Hot pickled okra.
Yes, from Texas. They make it.
Is it not slimy anymore?
It cuts it because of vinegar. It makes it like
if you have slimy okra, you don't know how to cook it.
That's true too.
Well, most of the gumbos I've had, the okra still felt slimy to me.
Yeah.
Grossed me out, man.
It could be cooked.
And I've tried it in a couple different places, and I just won't spend the money on it anymore.
Yeah, I've never cared for okra either.
I love okra. Oh, that reminds me.
I like kiwi either because it's so slimy.
I'm going to write that down. Plant okra. Because I like okra. I forgot to plant okra.
Plant okra.
Yeah.
There you go.
Everyone hates okra.
I don't.
I like the taste of
it.
I like the taste of it. It's just that I'm tactilely challenged, is what I call it.
Yeah.
If my clothes don't feel a certain way, or the food doesn't feel a certain way in my mouth, or I'm tactilely challenged.
It's the same with nopales, like cactus. I notice people either love it or they hate it. I love nopales. But if you grill it, it's less slimy. I get
I've
it.
never had that. How do you spell it?
Nopales, nopales.
Okay, I have seen those somewhere.
And stuff. Yeah, like vegetarian tacos. Yeah, we have a lot of that
and it's
here.
fried cactus?
It grows wild here in LA. You can like find it in the park, like nopales growing.
I wouldn't doubt if you could just pick it here too. I mean, I'm in the high desert.
The law is in LA that if it's public property and it's barren land, you can grow like whatever on it. So people grow whatever and have community gardens on these barren plots. And
that's just awesome, though.
Nopales gone wild.
No, that's great though, because there's so many cities that don't allow that.
And also,
and then there's empty lots, and you can't do anything to it.
And also, like the curb, like those strips of land between the curb and like the road, those are perfect. You can plant gardens there too. They're open for anyone to plant whatever they want. But it's mostly nasty land if you're inner city. It's like all toxic. So you better do a job.
I want to grow some food there.
Next to the 78 Cadillac that's taken off every morning.
Yeah. There's gas and oil dripping out of it. That turns me on. That's how I like my food.
When I lived by Chicago, there was an area that, a couple of acres that nobody wanted, so they gave it to the park district. And the park district didn't want to do maintenance on it, so they just plowed the whole thing and sectioned it off and said that anybody could claim a garden plot there.
Yeah, they do that a lot here in LA. There's a lot of community gardens. It's fun. I donate plants when I can. I think I'm turning my backyard into a community garden at this point.
we have a community garden here in La Crosse, and it's like on a couple acres, and all the citizens come in and they grow stuff, if not for their own, but when it's all grown and harvested, it goes to the various food programs in town.
Right. Yeah. We donate to the local. We have a community refrigerator for this neighborhood. So it's, we donate a lot of avocados. To LA thing we were talking about today. Like I have way too many avocados. I give them away.
I love avocado.
We have the female tree and our neighbor has the male tree. So we have just like shit. Tomatoes. Right. Avocados raining.
Tomatoes. That's what always happens. Tomatoes always fall out of avocado trees.
Send me a half a dozen a week.
Yeah. I mean,
ship them to me. I'll give you $5.
Walked through that tree and hit my head on avocados, and I'm like, avocado. They're like hard, and like the squirrels pick them and eat like half of it and throw it on the ground. They're all spoiled, like there's avocados everywhere in this neighborhood.
This avocado is not as good as the one on the other tree. I'm going to the other tree because I'm a California squirrel.
And they're better in Hollywood.
I'm going back to Hollywood. Fuck this other LA shit over here.
Yeah, these avocados are hard, honey. Yeah, the squirrels are deep.
Hold on, Aaron. You said you can forego okra and gumbo if you thicken it properly with okra. Now I'm confused.
The slimy stuff thickens the gumbo and makes it have body. Because you got to cook it down, though. That's what I think purple.
Wait a minute. That's exactly what I was about to say. That's the problem. They didn't cook it down far enough.
You got it.
So it was too thin and the okra was still slimy.
I've only had gumbo that was prepared over 18 hours. So.
Oh my God, that sounds delicious. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to find some mom and pop place that makes it at some point.
Or some
okra is great for soup because the slime just becomes part of the soup and you don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
See, but that's not been my experience. So it was undercooked. It didn't stew long enough.
Yeah. Of course, it's a hard thing
I like just naked slime in general. We pick it up out of the curb sewers and things like that. And fry it up and stuff.
I was going to say, telling me that it makes your soup slimy is not really a recommendation that's going to get me to buy this.
Because it's if you don't cook it long enough. That's what we just talked about. If you don't cook it long enough, it's slimy.
Like if you grill the cactus, it's a lot less slimy. It's more fibrous. It's interesting. It's like jackfruit kind of.
I've never tasted jackfruit.
You can flavor it with whatever too. That's the bonus.
Oh, okay.
Cactus is mostly water. So
so it doesn't have flavor, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to get some of that.
We have prickly pear cactus in Wisconsin.
I love prickly pears.
Son.
It survives the winter and everything.
Wow. All the way up there.
Yeah, it's hard as shit.
Oh, I didn't think it'd
I
survive
guess so.
outside here.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place in southwestern Wisconsin.
Oh, thicken with roux. Thank you. Yes. I know how to make roux. Someone taught me how to do that, and I can actually make a very good gravy now.
Yeah.
My gravy was always lumpy. I was doing it wrong.
That's Rowex. That's not roux.
I wasn't
that's
using
Rowex.
cold water.
Okay, I was going to ask where
It's a row.
I was going to ask where you were going to get a baby marsupial from in the U.S., but
Where do you get a baby marsupial?
Grab a possum and grab little things out of her, and
but that's
fry 'em
true.
up.
Yeah, I forgot about possums for a second there.
No, you probably cannot, Dave, unless you keep it inside and keep it in a temperature-regulated room because they like the humidity and the heat. So, no, I don't think you would grow avocados well in Canada.
Two kinds of marsupials in the United States. There's opossum and Republicans.
You know what? I need to start an avocado subscription box with all these reactions.
Right.
I have so many damn avocados. I'm like, does anybody want avocados? Like, my whole neighborhood has avocado trees too, so nobody needs avocados from us. So we have to take them to the mini fridge or to Skid Row somewhere to get rid of avocado. It's such an LA problem too.
If you sent those overnight, they would certainly survive in a box for 24 hours.
With some like paper,
sprinkles
and stuff, So
and you pick the less ripe ones.
Yeah. So by the time they get there, they're ripe.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, they take longer than that. But we get them. You find them.
Oh, I thought you were going with the United States Postal Service
ripeness, but usually you get fairly unripe ones around here, and you have to let them go for a week or so.
What I was gonna say, Jenny, was I thought you were using the U.S. Postal Service. They'll take them 14 days to get it from L.A. to you. By that time, they'll be ripe.
Yeah. Okay.
They're so behind right now. It's horrible.
That's a myth. I send stuff by the post office all the time. And
I know, but where I'm at, it's really bad right now. They're so behind.
Okay, the pandemic has thrown them way off, and we're blaming it on the pandemic, but actually it was because Trump put a guy in charge of it who wants to destroy it. But
it's
not just that. It is partly the pandemic, because instead of people driving across town and going and dropping off something because people had their offices closed, like here, for instance, you had to mail it. That was your only option. There's no other option to get those to those people when their offices are closed and you can't walk in the door. So the pandemic did have something to do with it, at least from where I live. It had something to do with it. And they are really behind and understaffed, and they're trying to hire people right now. And I don't want to walk around with mail, so.
Oh my God. Is it expensive? Our avocados they're like $5 some places, I've heard, even for the little tiny like green ones we have on our tree, which we have 1 million of.
Well,
I don't know what they
are.
I don't keep track of them much. I like avocado. I just don't buy it much because it's expensive, and
they're ripe and they're.
I live alone. It's just stupid to make something like that for one person.
Around here, they're one of the really weird pricing things because they're like individually they're like $2 each, or you can get a bag of 6 for like $5.
Wow. Somebody in the chat was saying it was an expensive fruit giveaway, and I'm like, is it that expensive? I saw a peach at Whole Foods one day that was $5, and I felt wrong.
Whole Foods? You mean whole paycheck?
Yeah. I never went to Whole Foods again because I felt like a $5 peach was extravagant.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. They do that. No, avocados where I am, but I'm in New Mexico, so it's probably cheaper here.
Yeah,
are usually either 3 for $5,
that makes
or
sense,
between $19.99 and $1.19 each, depending on the size.
They're the same price here in LA, and nobody can understand why anyone would buy a freaking avocado. Like,
because you're stupid and lazy. I mean, you would have to literally be really lazy.
Like, yeah, you have to be a transplant with no friends in LA to be buying avocados or limes and lemons, because that's the other two trees that everybody has. It grows wild.
I love lime.
Go to the park.
I would love to have just walk up to the park and grab a lemon and lime off the tree and go home. That'd be
My
great.
state university had oranges. It was an orange orchard before it was a university, so it has like acres of oranges still growing around it. So there's like free food
Just
everywhere.
walk up and grab an orange.
You could grab a ton of oranges, and someone will hand you a box and say, "Hey, you want to take?"
How many homeless people do you guys have? You probably have a lot.
Yeah, we do. So
it's nice climate. It never gets freezing cold, and there's fruit hanging around.
Growing everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a lot here. I mean, we're pretty.
But our problem is that we don't provide low-income housing more than the climate or the availability of food, because there's a lot of full shelters. So it's a problem. We don't have any low-income housing. Basically, we don't have any normal income housing to normal people.
We don't have low income housing here either. You're either like living in the crappy part of the area in a little trailer, or everything else is expensive. Like those.
I own a small business,
and the trailer part of it, it's not very large.
Right. So, my partner and I both have PhDs. Our house is worth $1 million. Like,
wow,
that's crazy. We didn't pay that much.
No, they cost $1 million. They're not worth that.
Right. It did not cost that, because we would have been like not paying that.
It's worth about 500 grand then, technically.
You can't buy a house here for 500 grand. Like, you can't.
No, I know.
It's just astronomical. If we didn't both have a high education, like we'd be renting still.
Right.
And it's only, we don't live in like Beverly Hills or anything. We live in some hills.
There are hills, but they're not the Beverly type.
We have a view. It's not of the ocean. It's a view. And just that alone. There is a hill and a view. There's $1 million.
Nothing wrong with a view and a hill. I mean, that's good.
We've had the house for a year, and it's increased that much money. Like, it's crazy here. And the minimum wage is a lot higher, thank God. Like,
what is it there?
I think it's 12 now. Mine for my business has always been 20. I've always paid 20 minimum to somebody. If you're going to work for me, $20 an hour minimum.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you should. Yeah, because you can't live off of anything less. It's horrible. They've actually made it 12.10 or 12.20 here, because that's how expensive it is to live.
Yeah.
To buy
We've
stuff
gone up to 15.
And
I think in LA and in California mostly we're like 15 or maybe now. Like.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's better. Yeah. That's what it should be here, but.
Absolutely.
Well,
the cannabis
industry, they actually had to raise the state minimum wage too, to keep the people working down in Albuquerque, because people commute up here. There's a train that runs between Santa Fe and Albuquerque. You can get a monthly pass for like $35 or something stupid, and you can ride it every morning and every night and never have to drive back and forth, and you can work up here and make twice the fucking money. And people do it all the time. They commute an hour on a train just to work up here because it pays so much better. That's what most of our restaurant staff and stuff comes from here. They come from Albuquerque. Like the people working in like the salons and the restaurants and the working the front counters at like the art galleries and stuff. Those people all get on a train and come up here from Albuquerque.
So they turn left at Albuquerque, huh?
No, they go north of Albuquerque, actually.
Oh, that's left.
Now, if you're going west to east, you would turn left, to go up here. But no, it's ridiculous. Like, it should be way higher than that. I mean, I make $5 over minimum wage, and I can't afford it.
Well, it used to be standard in the cannabis industry to pay $20 an hour until these new laws took place. When we were co-ops and stuff, everyone paid $20 an hour, like cash even, you know what I mean? Like, it was way better. But, now people are working at dispensaries for $12 a freaking hour and hoping for tips and like, in danger because, robberies and stuff. And it's a little concerning.
Well, they have security guards here at ours.
Yeah, almost they do at ours too. They have to have armed like security, but you're still in the way of danger, and they're mostly feminine people. I'm just saying.
Better than being at CVS where people would try to steal from us and they would punch me.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
I'd rather work at the dispensary where there's someone who gives a fuck and has a weapon and will do something. Instead of I'm the guy that working with a bunch of women that are all like, oh, you know, and I have to do all the shit work. That's
no,
what
they
my
have like
life is.
paramilitary troopers at dispensaries here.
They're not like
We
that
don't-
here.
we
They're
don't have
low.
any crime
They're
here.
low level
Don't worry
security
about it.
guards here that just started carrying a gun, like
Oh,
literally. Yeah.
we have like armed crazy.
But we don't. We also don't have crime here either. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Like
I'm like
you hear cops and ambulances, it's probably a car wreck. If you hear just the ambulance and the fire truck, it's probably a heart attack or a stroke. That's what we have here.
Yeah.
And that's it. Car accidents and medical emergencies. Like the other day, there was a guy that came in somewhere and he shot somebody and the cops were chasing him and they closed down part of the highway and everybody was like, afraid to leave work. Like, because that shit doesn't happen here. It was weird. It was somebody from out of state. He wasn't even from around here. He was driving through and committed some crime and tried to take off, and they chased him for like 2 days and they finally got his ass and he killed a cop. He almost killed a cop. The cop lived. So, but that shit, like, everybody's like, did you hear about that? Can you believe that happened here? And I'm like, where's the guy from? Albuquerque? And they all started laughing because that's where all the crime is. We don't have crime like that up here.
Oh, I thought you were in Albuquerque for some reason.
No, I'm in Santa Fe.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I'll bet you have more crime than we do.
Oh, well, you only have like 900 people that live there, 800 some odd people, Jenny. Of course. We have 83,000. You know what we have? We have a bunch of petty theft. The homeless people stealing out of the stores. That's our biggest source of crime here. Literally. There's not even like a bunch of meth and heroin running around here. I mean, it's here, but it's not bad or prominent. But that shit's everywhere. I work for tips. Yeah, I know, Mage, because it's so you don't know what you're making every week. You know, the guy was like, hey, man, go down here and talk to my buddy, and you could be a valet, and they pay you. I said, how much they pay? He goes, $15 an hour. I'm like, He said, yeah, but you can make like $100, $200 in tips a night. But what about the week where I don't make tips? I can't afford to live like that.
Don't buy a house on that budget.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same amount of money as what I'm getting from unemployment. Why would I go get a job? There's no sense in me going and getting a job. It's literally stupid.
I'm going to get going here. It's 3.5 hours.
What time is it? Oh my god!
It's time.
It's 10:30. We should get off here.
It's time to
Well,
go
let me end it,
masturbate and go
Jenny.
to sleep.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that's the best way to go to sleep, anyways, is to masturbate.
Yep.
Anyways, it's a fact. So yeah, let's just go ahead and end it. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming. I always appreciate you guys. Always brilliant conversations and some humor mixed in. So thank you for that. Jenny and Purple, you know I appreciate both of you coming on. Jenny, I love how hard-headed you are, and Purple, I hope you feel better. Dr. Cross, thank you for the surprise and coming up. I appreciate it.
Yay.
I was tickled to work with you tonight, Dr. Cross. You're a gem.
Yeah.
You're all our gems. You're better than I am.
Oh, whatever. You fit right in here. You're welcome back anytime. If you
I'm
wanna,
almost a cis person.
You want to let me? Whatever. Shut up.
Except for that
Shut
thing
up,
in my
whatever.
closet.
Okay. Cis people are not automatically bad.
Now, don't start a new
Yes, they
conversation.
are. They're
We're
terrible.
ending it. You two can talk in the back room if you want. I'm ending this shit. So,
right,
everybody
love you
out there,
guys.
I love all of you. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for being here for the last month with me going through all this shit.
Ow.
Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another.